go to Ogden. Do a bit of scouting, possibly kill some wolves, as you put it.
So did you guys get yourselves and stow your gear into your bunks yet? Am I muted?
Oh, got that bit of granola. Good way to get you going this morning.
Bit of, say, whatever he's concocted, you'd find your way to the fire. There'd be a faint fog in the ground, and you'd see small kobolds seated by one of the benches. You've been seated. 2 foot, 3 feet high. Looks like leather armor. Dan, I think you have the music coming through your mic.
Oh,
Hans.
let me see.
But as you'd come out, you'd find Eric already seated by her. She'd give you a brief nod. Morning, everyone. I hope you've found the night well enough. I believe I've met some of you.
Hi, I don't think we've met, but very nice to meet you. It was very hospitable. I actually just kind of reminded me of home. Nice change of pace.
I'm happy you find it. And what was your name, friend? And if you want to describe yourself.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Vincent. Vincent is a tiefling. He's about here, actually. He's a tiefling that stands about a solid 5 feet and 4 inches. He's pretty short, as like per human standards. His skin is a dark maroon red color, and his eyes are like a golden yellow. He has 2 dark brown hairs that protrude from the start of his hairline and kind of curve back, keeping close to his head. He wears nice clothing, elegant embroidery along the edges of his cowl, and he has a silver pendant that's attached to his cowl in the shape of Griffin's foot. He also carries a lute on his back, seems to have a pan flute strapped to his side, as well as a rapier. He looks like anxious, because just kind of like looking around. He doesn't seem like he would normally fit in with all the mercenaries who don't normally bathe here, but he looks excited. I just kind of give a little bow towards Tell.
With pleasure. Alduin, was it?
Yes, Bolden. Nice to meet you. I had a fork last time.
Did you not? I hope you've find this place as nice as Vincent has. And I don't believe we've met either. And she'd turn her head towards Jin.
Well met. My name is Jin. I hail from the Sword Coast, and Jin rises. Jin is a male human, standing about 5 feet 11 inches. He's got a lean, muscular build, kind of like a basketball player. Pale white skin with light gray eyes that look almost completely white. He has blue, neatly braided hair that falls past his shoulder blades, and a line of dwarvish runes are tattooed around his neck like a collar. And he's currently wearing a half plate that also has these kind of runes here and there, kind of lining the plates. And he does a short bow, and he sits back down, and you'll see that he's kind of whittling away at a piece of wood, just kind of carving these runes and some figures into a piece of wood.
I certainly bid you welcome. Do you remind me a bit of the ambassador? You do see another dwarf walking around with a gold eye. It certainly suggests you bid him hello.
I shall.
And, Baldwin, if you want to hit them with the description too, as I don't believe they played with you.
Oldham's a pretty tall Goliath. He has tattoos wrapping around his back, up to his head, like kind of tribal tattoos. He kind of has a medium grown out beard and looks dumbfounded most of the time. He has a very muscular build, and yeah.
Well, welcome to the wall, gentlemen. You'll hear Eric greet. And Eric, while he's sitting at the moment, stands at 6'6", about 220 pounds of fighter-toned muscle. Blonde hair down to his shoulders, bladed on the sides, trimmed up beard. Normally wears a blue cloak, but as he's going out to the field, he's wearing his splint armor today. Sitting on his shoulder would be his familiar snowy owl Odin. If you want a real simple description, think of Thor.
Right. Yep. I've met you before. You still scare me. I don't. Yep. Ooh. All right.
And think about this. I like you.
Oh man, that's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah. Anyways, what exactly are we doing here today?
Captain?
And you see her pop a bit of a cheeky smile at the exchange. Well, I believe a lot of you have agreed to head just a bit to the west. There's well, there was, I should say, a town there long ago. Fell to ruin for, I won't spoil it for you. Let's just say it's not necessarily a pleasant sight. But it's become a bit of a way station for the refugees. Some have made it a bit of a permanent home. It would be worthwhile to us to, as they say, hearts and minds and all. Which is the nearest place with sizable structures that's not controlled by another faction. There are a few interesting characters there, and certainly reinvigorating any of these towns could buy us just a bit of favor with the king. But Eric, I trust you to lead them today.
Aye, ma'am.
If you're fortunate enough, our wonderful cook in the camp who made this meal this morning is truly from that city. It is unfortunate he had left before the war had started. But he is quite adamant about seeing it return to what it once was. I believe he'd like to speak to you for but a moment before you leave. With that, if you'll excuse me, I do have quite a bit of things to attend to this morning. And she banged her bowl twice against the bench. Stand. Good day, good luck. And I do warn you, if you do take the horses, please take care of them. They have been pushed to the brink. And she'd stand and make her way to the north. As that would happen, you would see the door to the barracks open once more for her. So a halfling would walk out. And Belial, if you want to hit them with a quick description.
Can you guys hear me now?
Aye.
Okay, cool. So pushing out of the door is a halfling, but not your normal halfling. And you noticed him a bit in the kitchen, but it was pretty quick exchange. He's handing out you muffins and bowls of fruit. But he's though obviously a halfling, is huge. He's a massive figure. He stands almost 5 feet tall. And if you scroll in and see the picture of him, that's very close to what he looks like. His arms are just riddled with muscles. He's got, calloused hands, burn marks on his hands in the kitchen and other places. And as he walks out to you, the stride that he has is very lithe still, regardless of how muscled he seems. It's almost grotesque, but almost kind of beautiful at the same time. And as he comes over, he catches tail just a bit. Ma'am, I can take that for you.
Here, should I give it a bit of a toss to you?
And I
Delicious
catch it.
as always.
What was that?
Delicious as always.
Thank you, ma'am. Glad I could help.
Easy enough to grab him out of the air. Ooh.
And take a seat at the bench over here. give a nod over to Eric. Eric, nice to
Hello.
see you.
Always pleasure to work for you, sir.
Thank you for being willing to do this. I know this has been something that you've wanted to do for a while, and can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Happy to be of service.
Now, who you lot? And I'll look over towards the tiefling sitting to my left.
Hello. Yeah, sorry. What? I kind of phased out for a second.
It's alright. Just asking your name, friend.
Oh, my name's Vincent, but you can call me Vince.
Nice to meet you, Vin.
That was neither of the options, but yeah, that works.
How about you, big guy?
Name's Bolton. Nice to meet you.
Boldham. Nice to meet you too. And you across the way.
Oh, my name is Jin. Pleasure making your acquaintance.
Did you say Jim? We got another fucking Jim around?
That's Jin with an N.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You'll if you beat him, you'll understand my reaction.
There's a long story there.
All right. Anyway, got to get back in, but just wanted to talk to you real quick. So you're gonna be heading out towards my home, and understand that none of you are from here, and that's all right. But the captain probably gave you a good rundown on what she expects from you. But as far as what I expect is just a couple smaller things, little closer in picture, not a big picture thing like she does. If you're gonna go to Ogden, there's a couple things that you gotta do first. If you get inside the city, and if you you'll likely meet either a man named Davos or a woman named Mary. If you meet either of these people, be on your best behavior. Now, I know Eric here's gonna say the same thing, but I'm gonna stress it to you. These are very good potential allies. And beyond that, they're good folk. So just treat them with the respect they deserve, and they'll treat you the same. Also, if you're there and you speak with them, you may see a bit of an interesting sight running around, especially for the times we're in, Warnell. Take it for what it is, positive. Don't get a whole lot of positives around here, so we take it where we can, right?
I'm sorry. Did you say we'll see something weird running around, like a monster?
No, nothing. Well, some people call them little monsters, but no, it's if you get inside the city, you're likely to run across a gaggle of kids.
A gaggle
And
of kids, like
yeah.
goats?
No, like children, like little people.
Oh, terrible things, even worse than monsters.
Could be, can be, but just treat them good too. It's not a whole lot of children around these days, you know. It's a lot of tragedy in the world. What happened on the coast and what's happening around here. Gotta protect what future we can, eh? And these are what's that. So just keep that in mind when you're around.
I
But oh, go ahead.
oh, we'll keep that in mind, of course.
While you're here,
You may meet one. She's a little precocious, kind of an oddball. Name's Mori. She'll steal the kids right if you need to. Tell her I said hey, and give her this for me. And I'll actually give it to Vincent. He's closest.
Oh,
And it's just like a little, really, really crudely carved, like little dolly. Super bad.
Oh, this looks wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
You said
And
Lord.
yep, Lori. And it just has the letter B carved onto it. And the letter is very well done. The object not so much, but the letter is very well done. And you recognize, like, the stylization, you kind of recognize as being similar to the runic things that you carve.
Ah, yes, this looks wonderful. This looks like it took you many hours to make.
Oh god. All right. Well, that's really all I had to say. Just wanted to stress a bit.
Eric can pick up on what you're picking up on, and he just kind of looks at you blind and goes like, "This is why we do basic training, sir. I've got this."
Okay. Good. Well, like I said, I'll gotta get back. Make sure you guys get fed when you get back, eh? And I'll stand up. I'll actually shake each of your hands and then take my leave.
Yes, hope to see you again.
I probably wince because your grip is stronger than mine. Hi. Right.
Well, I would stand and make his way away from the fire. But be about 7:30 by now. The sun just creeping over the edges of the walls. But the day is yours, gentlemen.
So at this point, Eric would actually stand up just a little bit. All right, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is not the end of the world yet. That's scheduled a few weeks out. Today, really, truly should be an average border patrol. We're going to walk, and I'll kind of look at Vincent. Yes, walk to Ogden. It's literally the closest settlement. If you can't walk there, you've got bigger problems, which we will simply fix, because you will grow stronger.
Oh boy. Walking. Yes. Great.
The intent here is, as we are a fort of soldiers, one of our greatest skills would be in providing security for the locals, allowing them to take care of rebuilding their towns, their farms, their villages. And perhaps out of that we can actually make friends and maybe even trading partners. Does this concept register with you three?
Hear you just fine.
Thank you kindly. All right. Now, generally at this point in the mission or beforehand, we would be checking our medical supplies. Essentially, if you have any potions of healing. I realize you three probably do not. Eric will turn. He'll show his component belt showing I am carrying 3. No one died twice. Understood?
Right, yep.
Additionally, standard gear I would recommend, you'll find out as we go down the line, would be some form of blade or hand axe, and also at least a tinderbox or other means of making fire. Some of us have abilities, and he'll kind of slightly ready a firebolt in his hand, but he'll then dismiss it, because this is part of standard process when we're on missions. I'm not going to bore you with everything here in the camp yard, but does that make sense of what we're looking for standard opening procedures and equipment?
Believe so, yeah, yes.
Jin nods.
Excellent. I run a slightly tighter mission than a lot of people here. I actually coordinate strike missions for the assault teams. So you've actually landed with the guy who's going to ride you just a little bit. But the upside is, no one's died on any of my missions. So I stand by that record. You three will not ruin it for me today.
Oh, I don't plan to.
Ah, Vincent. This is going to be an interesting war with you here.
great. I'm looking at the ground.
All right. Eric will kind of look at each of you here a little bit here. All right. Since I'm the one who's actually been to Ogden today, I'll take navigation. Vincent, I can't help but notice that you've got some of the shiniest eyes I've seen in a while. I think I'm going to have you be lookout today.
Hey, okay. Does anybody wanna help me keep watch? I'm
Oh, sure, I'll help.
visual of people.
Last time I found a fork in the wall.
Oh boy, I feel so great for our odds.
Gentlemen, we should be fine. If you have a god, say your final prayers. Let's head on out. And Eric will be leading you down south, down below, to the gate.
So as you guys would gather your shit, easy enough to leave your food behind, as it's usually gathered up in empty bowls or plates, utensils. You'd find the large iron fort is closed. The humanoid man poke his head just over the edge of the stone barricade, about 30-40 feet up. Oh, yeah, going out?
Yes, sir, please.
Alright, no horses, yeah?
Correct. We'll have the boys do it the old-fashioned way.
Alright. Oi, new people! Pay him no mind! It's all in his head.
Is that a yes to the horses?
Oh, and he pokes out. You want to buy a horse, friend?
Oh, no, I'm broke. Bye-bye.
Oh. I mean, I got a few.
Let him have a few missions to have some gold for you to rob first.
Oh.
Wait for them to get paid, then hook them up.
I suppose. Alright then, open the gate! As the iron porters would slowly start to climb up. It'd be easy enough to make your way away from the warmth of the fire, out into the spotted wood. As you guys do make your way out, for the most part now, this road has been tread hundreds of times. It's relatively easy to find your way with the sun at your backs. Forged by footfall, certainly not paved, but relatively clear for at least these first few miles. Eric, if you could roll survival at advantage, and then if anyone's proficient in perception, if you could roll perception for me.
I am proficient in perception.
11.
20 perception.
20?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, even at advantage, it's like, what the hell? The dice are going to be nice today, but if I got to screw one up, I'll take that one.
So, as you guys would make your way, it's fortunate that you're on foot. Right? It's not necessarily a misty morning. By now, it's about 8 o'clock. The sun enough in the sky to light your way. Slowly make your way forward out into the wood. Was one 20?
Yeah, I got a 20 on
Nice, shit. Alright, so as you travel for, 10, 15 minutes, forest relatively quiet. In the brief distance with the 20, you would see this flash of light just off the side of the path about 20 feet to your left, and then another moment would pass, and then another one. And as you come closer, you hear the sparks and cracks of electricity.
Hey,
Yeah.
Eric,
Aye?
there's electricity over there, and I'm gonna point towards it, the sparks and the light, and I go, what is that? What is that?
And as he points out and cries, you hear, "Oh, yeah, back up a little bit. Oh, right there, Jim. Yeah, no problem."
That be the gyms. Not gin, but sounds like a couple of the local gyms. They are interesting. They are welcome in the camp. But hear me when I tell you this, gentlemen. I would not call them safe. They've helped us in the past, but they certainly are interesting folk.
Well, you'll see Jin immediately take out a notepad or a roll of paper, and he starts taking notes.
And you are a man after my own heart. And Eric will briefly pull out his journal that he often has been documenting everything since he left home on. And he'll put it back in there. He goes like, that's a thinking man there.
Holden just waves his hand towards the gyms, saying hi.
You call out, they'll look. Oh, oi, Jim, do we know him? I don't know Jim. And as they'd come into view, you would see these 3 tieflings almost identical. One red, one purple. Dropping footprints.
Eric will nod to them.
Oi, Jim, are these new people? I don't know Jim. Oi, you! Are you new people? Motion towards you.
Yes.
We're new. Yep, I'm new. Mm-hmm.
Got a fork in the wall.
Crack this brief smile as the red one would step forward. Oh, pleasure, yeah. I'm Jim. This is Jim. It's Jim. Oh, yeah. We're the resident arcane masters, yeah, the camp. Oh, yeah. You need it. We got it, yeah. And people here kind of shit, yeah. We need some new people. So, what's your names? He'd point a little bit with his finger as he'd lean forward.
Jin gives a short bow. Jin with an N. Grey Winters at your service.
Oh, yeah. With a G, J, or D? Yeah.
G and a J, I guess in Faerun letters.
Oi, Jim! And he turns to the purple one. He's like, I know Jim. I like this one. Oh, yeah, Hugh, come here. Motions forward with his finger.
Alright, were you pointing at me?
Oh, yeah. Not you, yeah, dwarf.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Other Jim.
there's another gym.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be, yeah. And they turn towards Jin.
Oh, me, sorry. I'm Jin's a human leader.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm happy to help as is needed.
As you'd come forward, he'd cock his head just a bit, reach into his pocket, and pass you what would seem to be this orange rock about the size of a baseball. Oh yeah, take this, yeah? Oh yeah, if you get into trouble, just throw it at something. Oh yeah, let us know how it works out, yeah? And don't fucking give it away, please. Yeah?
Jin kind of cautiously takes the orange ball, kind of gives it a look to see if he can figure out what it actually will do. And
Make an investigation check as you kind of look it over. You would see that it's somewhat porous, firm as you pick it up, weighing about 2 or 3 pounds, somewhat heavy for its size.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, so let's see, investigation. Oh, not one of my better ones, but let's see. Ooh, that is a straight 9.
Straight 9. I mean, it looks like an orange rock, and there are these faint, almost like etchings or carvings, but they're too obscured by whatever texture the surface is made of to really make out what they are. But in a gander, if you kind of toss it up and down, you could likely throw this thing with some accuracy up to 20 feet. A little further, up to 60 feet even, if you really want to lean into it.
Got it.
You know, my mother once told me a tale about accepting strange things from people I just met in forests, and I generally think it's a bad idea, but, you know, it's everyone to their own.
Now, as you'd say that, Vincent, you'd watch the blue one turn to you and infernal. Say, oh, you, yeah. Did anyone ask you?
I responded infernal and say, I suppose not, no.
All right, Jim, yeah. Oh, last question, yeah. We're looking for like a possum about a yay big, yeah? And he'd hold his hand about up to his shoulder, which would be about 5 feet 5. Oh, yeah, calls himself a Atropus, yeah? Lord of Death and Decay. Pay the name, no mind, yeah. But have you guys seen him?
We just left the fort, fellas. We've not seen anything except you 3 fine men.
All right, yeah. Step over the barrier, yeah, on your way out. And with that, as soon as you said you haven't seen them, they would turn their backs to you and slowly make their way off the trail. You know, like every few steps, you'd see one of them would point down. This electricity would arc from their hand into the dirt and grass and almost form this faint burnt line.
They said, who, Lord of what?
Lord of K? Some kind of huge possum. That's all I could note down.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Moonshay Isles. And Eric will start going down the path again.
I follow closely.
Likewise.
You guys would make your way away. The faint sound of that arcane magic and electrical sparks would fade. And the sun would continue to rise, and as it did, the forest would come to life. A sound of birds in the distance. You'd see the occasional deer run by. And for the most part, this first part of the journey on your way to Ogden is relatively easy. As even on foot. Although a bit far, as you start to feel it in your knees 2-3 hours in. Would be, for the most part, unabated. But as you came up on the city about a mile out, you would see as the forest would start to thin, there'd be these faint signs, the remnants of whatever road was here. The occasional piece of cobblestone tossed to the side. But as he'd creep up, get just a bit closer, there'd be a faint figure walking in front of you, about 5 feet, 5 feet 7, it would seem. About 70, 80 feet up.
Like 80 feet ahead of us?
In front of you, yes, on the path. Get you a map.
Can I like squint and try to make out any features?
As you peer out from your its back is to you, he seems wearing a black robe, hood up. Walking slowly, it seems at the pace that you guys are moving, you'll likely catch up to him in no time.
All we're seeing is a black cloak at this point. Okay.
Maybe coming on the right-hand side.
I'd like to kind of like fall behind the group a bit and just let everybody walk ahead of me, and then just kind of like veer off to the side.
Okay. Black cloaks. Solo individuals alone in the woods. Not exactly the safest of situations. I would like to have Odin go ahead and give me a little bit of a flyby. To... Well, let's see here. Let me get the measure out. Okay.
This guy continues to move forward at about, I don't know, a third the speed that you're moving at. You would see that his gait is shallow. He has a faint limp as he leans to the left. As Odin flies overhead, make a perception check for me. As you look through your owl's eyes.
18.
18. The glance that Odin gets, albeit a bit elevated as he looks down on it, it seems to be a humanoid male, stark white hair, pale skin to match. These sunken eyes. For the most part, this cloak seems to be the nicest thing that he's wearing. Whatever's underneath, his tunic and his pants are ripped and torn. Dirty. No discernible iconography, anything like that.
Okay. I'll relay that to the party and simply add, so it's too close to call. Can't quite, nothing necessarily tells us threat, friend, or foe. And we're close enough to Ogden, I don't really want to risk it, so on guard, but don't fire until fired upon. And I'll go... Yep. I would go ahead and continue walking up at our normal pace if you said that we were going to be catching him up.
What do you other guys want to do?
Jin is going to kind of look into the trees and the shrubs to see if there's a possible accomplice.
Yeah, make a perception check, Jin. As you kind of look out, a bit suspicious.
All right, let's see. Here we go. Come on, better roll. 17.
17. As your eyes scan the brief bit of shrubs to the side, the occasional bush, tree, maybe 20, 30 feet off the road past these rocks, you don't seem to see anyone. You do see a fawn asleep just off in the distance. What seems to be the faint remnants of dried blood, although likely weeks old, as it's turned that orange-brown color. But no one lying in wait, no imminent threat, no danger.
I kind of relay that to the... See anything in the woods? possibly there could be something dangerous waiting for us, but I didn't notice anything. We just keep our distance. What say you, Eric?
I'd say let's go ahead and keep a normal pace. I just had a friendly encounter last week. So Murphy's Law suggests that this week I'm going to die, but that's how things go. I would say let us just continue on our pace. I wouldn't necessarily try to engage, but we'll see if anything occurs at that point.
Did you say he was injured?
He looks disheveled. The cloak seems to be the nicest on him. Everything else, his pants, his tunic, everything seems to be a little bit torn asunder. But I'm assuming he's still... How is his walking? Does he seem to be doing decently, or does he look to be struggling?
You see, it's a staggered gait.
The staggered
He
gait.
leans heavily to one side with a limp.
Okay, alright. He doesn't exactly strike me as extremely threatening. So I would say I'm willing to be optimistic.
Perhaps he's a man who's lost.
I'm just gonna continue walking in behind. I get a little bit closer to the party, but I'm still staying in the back.
Eric's willing to take a step forward here.
Yeah, so if you guys want to move up together at about your distance, say make up at about... Ooh, as it's duplicating people.
Oops.
Okay.
We've discovered the
Maybe-
clone spell!
Do you guys want to stay right behind Eric as he moves up?
Yep.
I'll kind of be on the other side of Eric.
Alright.
And I'm quite accustomed to being the shield for people, so that's not going to bother me in the slightest.
So as you make your way up, Eric, to get to about there, he's closed that relative distance to this, whoever this is. He would stop and turn. Look back towards the party. Give a brief wave and nod.
I would return the nod and the wave. And I'd even offer, can we be of assistance?
I bid you hello. Perhaps you can. I have heard of a way station for refugees here, halfway between the capital. I seek to find it.
I think that way station is something we could be of assistance with. We're on our way there also. My name is Eric. May I ask yours?
I've had many names in my life, but now I am a man of the cloth. I have taken the name Jessiel.
That name ring any bells?
Make a religion check.
Nope, that's a natural one.
No, it's not.
We've had
Odd name.
We've had friendly interaction, so I'd be willing to come closer. And I'd even be willing to offer, would you, care for water or ration, sir?
You'd be kind enough to share. I'd happily take some.
I'd
Turn
happily...
towards you. You'd see that he definitely looks not necessarily jaundiced, but malnourished. His skin sunken in, so that those eyes dark, and there'd be just a bit of a twitch to his hand as he'd reach out to whatever you'd offer.
I'd happily offer him a ration in my water skin.
Does he appear like physically injured, or like is this some kind of like pre-existing condition type?
You see no open wounds or blood or bandages or anything like that. Nothing that really sticks out as an open injury. He seems old, that's for sure. Certainly exhausted, hungry.
Okay.
From my experience, we're not too far from Ogden. I'd be more than willing to escort you the rest of the way.
I would appreciate it. I hope to at least spread some of the peace that has kept me going this time to those that are there along my way.
Okay. I want to take a look. Does he have any obvious signs of which cloth he's following, which god he's following, any religious emblem?
No, as you're up in front, he doesn't seem to have much. The only thing you do see is this dark cloak that does adorn him. There is almost this faint shimmer of smoke and stars.
Okay. Alright. Because...
Allowed to tap him on my back since he seems to have like a wobble when he's walking. I like give him a piggyback back too.
At least ask first.
Oh, hello. Kind of,
Consent! Consent!
Olsen, if you would.
I worry that if you were to lift me, my back might not recover.
Oh, that doesn't sound too fun.
Let's give the elder some escort, but we'll allow him to set the base.
Thank you. Is this yours? And he'd turn up and look at your owl.
Aye, he's a second set of eyes for me. Helps to keep me out of trouble. Odin! And I'll just, from that, Odin will come down from the trees and land onto my shoulder, which is where he normally rides.
He is adorable.
Can I like walk up to Eric and like whisper a question in his ear?
You'd be welcome to.
Oh, I want to whisper to Eric and ask him, is your owl common around here?
This owl came from my homeland back in the Nolans. While you might have more colorful owls around here, where I come from is a land of ice and snow. Therefore, the natural color of him. He's a bit different, but so's his master.
Understandable.
Please, Jasil.
How are we then?
You mentioned...
Look at the owl. A bit of a moment. Yes.
You mentioned Man of the Cloth. May I inquire which deity you serve?
The only one that can save us from this darkness. Please, let us make our way to this way station.
As you wish.
Ogden, as you call it.
Something just doesn't feel right, but I keep following.
Jin just kind of tries to strike up a conversation. So, Jasil, was it? Where did you say you were from?
Originally, years back, I am from the City of Splendor.
As Jin is talking to our new gentleman, Eric would, as subtly as he can, try to turn back to Baldwin and Vincent and just tap on his shield to kind of alert them to be on guard, and then continue walking.
Where are you from, friend?
I hail from settlements by the Sword Coast.
Do you?
Have you heard of Thornhold?
I do. It is just north of Waterdeep, which is where I am from, as I said. At least, where I was from. It is there that I found the art. I found the goddess.
Goddess? Would you care to enlighten me?
She has many names. The Mother. The Harlot by those that do not like her. Our Lady of Spells. The Lady of Mysteries. And are you... If you're proficient in religion, you can roll religion against that. I was just talking somewhat loudly.
I have a jack of all trades, but I'm not proficient in it.
Let's see, you can roll it. It's what you would know would be a little less than someone who's actually proficient who might have studied it.
Okay. I got a 14.
14? You would faintly recognize it as it is likely speaking about, at least the god that he's referencing, is Mystra, goddess of magic, creator of the weave.
Got it. I will
hear it in your head, Eric, as you guys walk. It's kind of whispering.
Yeah.
You're just behind your ear.
Eric wouldn't necessarily say anything, but he would touch his ear to his. He would touch his fingers to his ear and just nod, acknowledging he heard the message. And
Are you a man of faith, Jin?
To an extent. As for me, I do say a nightly prayer to Gond. I don't know if you're familiar with the god of craft. He is a guiding star in my life.
See now, a peculiar god for one such as yourself. Although I suppose if you hail from that settlement, it makes sense.
Oh yes, indeed. Say through art, may achieve immortality, something like that. I cannot say that I am would ever be so able to achieve such levels, but I am in that pursuit. It is my passion, and I kind of show him the piece of wood that I was kind of that Jin was kind of whittling down at the fireplace, and it's this ornate kind of rune that essentially he kind of copied what Lyle was creating, and to himself he was just kind of like, oh, I could do a better job than that, and he kind of chiseling it. So he kind of shows Jaceel what he was working on.
I see you at least hold true to the principles of your god. I am familiar with your god, or however, my acquaintances knew him by another name.
Oh, pray tell, what would that name be?
Long ago, before I was on the path that I am now, I lived amongst the gnomes. I believe they referred to your god as Nebulum.
Jin is writing that down in his notebook. Nebulum. Fascinating. Thank you. You are... I mean, clearly you are well-traveled and knowledgeable. What does it take to acquire such knowledge?
Sacrifice. He would say that. You guys would turn, as now you've been walking for, say, about another hour, as the faint cobblestone road would grow more frequent and then more faint as you could see what conflicts long past that had torn it apart. But as you'd creep up, you would eventually see just the faint remnants of a stone wall that would slowly start to rise from the ground and dip out. And along just the front of it, you would see a small child seated, looking at when I got your tokens. Yes, there is a child ahead. I have never truly liked them. This kid would see the lot of you as you'd just come up and she'd pick her head up. Wide-eyed, would start to slowly walk forward with a bit of a strut in her step. As you'd see this dirty blonde hair, well, not necessarily rags, but clothing that was certainly stitched together by not quite the best tailor.
Eric would come up and even...
Jaceel would cringe back. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh. Eric would go ahead and take a knee to get just a little bit more on the child level. And he'd simply try to smile as friendly as possible and say, hello, how are you?
Oh, I know you.
You've probably seen me come through once or twice.
Yeah, you look really cool.
My name is Eric. May I ask yours?
I and she'd clear her throat and kind of stamp her feet a little bit, put her hands on her hips as she'd straighten up her posture. I am Viceroy of Ogden, Keeper of the Path, the great, the only, Lori.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you. May a few humble travelers beg permission to come to town?
Lori.
Erica nod.
And then Jin kind of looks at Vincent and is like, is Lori the one that Lyle created the
Eric is nodding.
Oh,
As you say Belial, you'll see her eyes will light up. Oh, champion.
Belial is a good friend of mine, yes.
Oh, you know the champion.
sorry, Lori.
Yeah.
I do. In fact, have something for you. I take out the like really really terribly crafted doll. Just kind of wince as I take it out, and I'll just like reach out and hand it to her. This is from Belial. He asked me to give this to you.
Whoa. Hey, how come you smell funny?
I smell funny.
Yeah.
I might smell different from them because I take what's called a bath, and
Oh no. Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. It feels great. I recommend it.
Oh, my Mary said that you have to change the bathwater, otherwise you'll stink. Yeah. You should remember that.
That's true, and I believe it would be really great if you told my compatriots here that they should change their bathwater.
Vincent.
Hi. Yep. Sorry.
Would Mary or Davros be available by any chance? I know they're very busy people, but I'd love to at least say hi to them if possible.
Oh, I think they're by the fountain, but I have something to do. You'll excuse me. And she'll
Okay.
slowly turn and tiptoe away.
Okay.
With this new toy you've given her.
Okay. All right then.
I do not trust her.
Oh, completely. I still hate children. They're terrible.
I am 100% certain she's getting into mischief, and I wouldn't stop her for anything.
Hey, Eric. Just one quick point of order though. How much further until we reach? Sorry. Where was it we were going?
There's only one way to find out, Vincent. And Eric will stand and start walking again.
Oh boy. I just kind of thought he would say that. I mean, yep. Let's continue.
Oh, as you push on, it would only be a few more moments before you'd actually make it to Ogden proper. As just bits and pieces of the village would remain along the outskirts, as you'd find most of the buildings to the north along your right-hand side, long since torn away and lost to time, taken by fire, and a force that you would struggle to comprehend, as whole walls seem ripped up from the foundation themselves. But as you push further into the town, more and more of the buildings would stand. Eventually, as it would clear the way, you'd find that this town has an odd silence to it. As you hear the faint sound of a hammer in construction, the pitter-patter of footfall. But no words, no spoken language, at least here. As you'd see all of these buildings to the north on this map are not here. But you would see an old man seated around the fountain, a young woman who is speaking. You can hear her voice even from here. She's a bit boisterous, a bit of a yenta. Oh, yes, sir. Right. Yep. And she'd be taking notes very studiously, just like Jin. Right, on it! And you'd turn, briefly see you guys come in, and you'd see her expression change almost instantly as her jaw wouldn't drop, but her eyes would grow wide, and she'd nudge back and tap the old man on the leg. Davos. Aside from them, most people would pay you no mind as you entered town. You would see a few scattered individuals, a small group huddled, having some type of conversation in what looks to be sign language, motioning with only their hands. Two others to the south tending horses. But as you did come in with your passive perceptions, further into the town, just through the alleyways, you would see more people and you would hear the sound of voices, almost as if segmented and tied away.
And Eric would approach the pair, trying to be as friendly as possible again. Just saying, Belial and Eulas and greetings. I'd like to add my own.
A pleasure. My name is Mary. How are you? Give a little curtsy.
I don't think I've had the pleasure yet. My name be Eric.
Oh, hello. She'd run over, extend a hand.
I would happily shake.
Oh, and you have friends. She'd
I-
run over to Baldwin. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hi.
Vigorous handshake. Oh, and you run to Vincent.
Well, pleased to meet you, darling. I'll shake her hand.
You and you, who are you? Turn to Jin.
Jin, my lady. And there's a bow.
You'd watch as her eyes would turn to Jessiel. There'd be this brief change. If you're proficient in insight, you could roll insight for me. See if you can pick up on what it is. You'd have to be proficient to be able to pick up the subtleties.
I actually have advantage on insight.
Yeah, go for it. She would come over to him and there'd be that brief pause, but she would shake his hand. A pleasure, Mary. Jessiel. A pleasure.
21.
21. There'd be trepidation in her eyes. Not necessarily fear, but this hesitation. Hard to tell where it's from, but you could see that it was instinctual. It was a reflex.
This elder gentleman was not with our party. We've met him on the road, coming to the same town. But we wanted to bring some greetings from Fort Vegapath. Attempt to grow as neighbors.
Well, I mean, that would be wonderful. There's so much to do. We get new refugees every day.
That
Old
is
man, and she'd step quite far away from Jesse. She'd make her way back over by Eric.
Oh, as she leaves, I just call out, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce, I'm Vincent. Yep, that's me.
Well, a pleasure. If you haven't been here before, say my name is Mary. I'm like the what's the word for it? Oh, let's see. Documenter, no. Initial, no. Oh, like okay, so like not a lot of people here could really talk. So I came. I'm a bit of a chatterbox, and it served me well helping out the old man who's kind of run the place. She'd nod her head a bit vigorously. She'd point just underneath her left arm towards Davos, this old bald gentleman, slumped back on this stone bench. And even from here, you could tell that his eyes are closed, and there's a faint snore coming from him.
And that's perfectly fine. This group of people, the first thing that occurred to our minds as Fort Vegapath is a soldier's camp, is we could offer at least border patrol for you to secure the perimeter of your city. Not trying to police the interior, not trying to invade your home, but just trying to keep the wolves and whatever else may be at bay, so you can help to take care of the people here in your towns. Any objections to that part?
If you're here to help, you do a lot of things for us.
And that is exactly what we were thinking. The second question I was going to ask is, within the next day or so, good friend Eula, she's planning to come to town and would like to offer the humanitarian aids with the refugees and everything else that you're speaking of. The main question would be, what are your most pressing needs? We'll do our best to try and meet them.
Hundreds of people pass through here every day. They come from the south, maybe hundreds, but it feels that way. They come, they take our resources, some stay, some go. By truly pressing, I don't know what we need. I'm not a planner.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I know. Everyone loves candy.
Like candy.
Well, we have a good cook. You know Belial better than we do. I'll see what he can pull off with that. Wanted to double check. How are we doing with... I know we have a good team of doctors. Are we okay so far? Do we have any major crises that way? I know Ayula's got one heck of a doctor's touch.
And she'd lean in. I don't know if your friends told you, but I myself am a bit of a practitioner of the art, and I'm not so bad. So I've been able to help out just a bit in secret.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but
Secret safe with me.
They still kind of freak out about magic.
Understood. We were planning to go subtly. Understood.
Just heard about your friend, the pink one, right? Yeah.
Ayula, yes.
Yeah. She could be a bit ooh, what did he say? Overt. Yeah.
I'll have a word with her.
I can see this woman in her 20s nod her head. Right. All right, oh dear. I do want to talk to you later. And she'd point to Vincent.
Oh. I'm sorry. Oh, yep, of course, yep. We can talk.
Not now, though. Just later. Oh, question for you, friend. Can I borrow that? And she'd point to the pan flute at your hip.
Oh, my pan flute. Yes, of course. I actually have a spare. Yeah, of course. I just hold it out towards her. And I said, like, as I'm handing it off to her, I just go, is there a particular reason this town is so quiet?
Oh, I mean, it's a bit of a shame. It happened well before I was here, but, how to put this and not have it sound, I guess it's horrible no matter how I say it. So, a while ago, the enemy had come by, and, all those that were here had their tongues cut out.
Oh!
I know. Terrible.
Marvelous. That sounds, oh boy.
I'm still a bit coy about it, so I'd be a little quiet.
Got it.
With the tongues.
Got it. Do you think
And-
they would mind if I played a tune?
I don't know, you certainly can. Are you any good?
I'm decent.
There's only one way to find out.
Self-taught. Oh, yeah, I suppose that's true. Well, we're just gonna try to lift everyone's spirits a little bit, you know? I'm gonna make my way over to like the center and just kind of like prop myself up on one of the benches, and I'm gonna take my lute off my back, and I'm just gonna begin just strumming like a jaunty tune, just something upbeat. Say something like the tales of Sir Jin, who was mistaken for Jim, but don't take too long or you'll end up in a scrim.
While he's singing his song, I'm going to subtly go over to Baldium and Jin and just say, please keep an eye on the gentleman who walked into town. This just keep an eye on it. I'd rather be paranoid than dead.
Vincent, as you sing your song, roll performance at advantage. It's beautiful.
Okay, alright, thank you. Alright. No, I got a 10.
10! There's, you hear this faint golf clap coming from the distance. You've caught one person's attention. There'd be a brief grumble from the old man, who stare, open one eye, and then nod his head back. As he
Perfect.
Can I ask the lady where the candy would be?
Where the candy is?
She was wanting us to bring candy.
Oh, we were to bring the candy.
Yeah, I thought you had the candy. I thought you were offering.
Candy, I did not know this. Oh, I'm eating the bread.
If you already had the candy, why didn't you bring the candy? I
Vincent!
didn't make the candy.
I was eating bread at the camp. I didn't know we had candy. I mean, every once in a while I still have onion, but you know, candy's better.
Mary's great.
Recruits.
I thought perhaps you know, like, take a horse to get some meat.
Mary, your time and your presence has been greatly appreciated, and Fort Vegapath will do their best to assist you in this. We'll even see if we can find some candy. I cannot guarantee it, but Belial amazes me with every meal, so we will see.
You guys have seen that old man who you journeyed in with would have since made his way over to one of these stone benches, sat down, and fallen asleep, much like the other old man, Davos, who was pointed out. So he'd assume a similar position, head back, eyes to the sky.
If he's seeming fall, please go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just gonna like as I'm playing, I'm just gonna still keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Can Voldem make his way to the ridge at the bottom and sit there, keeping his eyes intensely on the old man?
Yeah, absolutely. He seems to be asleep. Anyone else want to do anything? As Mary would turn back towards Eric and Jin, who remain.
Oh, sorry. Jin
Oh,
was,
no, you're good.
I will continue my tune, and this time I'll start up again. Baldum is balding, but don't be applauding, for your nuts in your butts will all soon be scalding.
I'll simply mention to Mary. My plan was we would be around the exterior perimeter of your village, likely for the next hour or so. I admit, I can understand your trepidation regarding the figure that traveled in with us, but he was going to come here with or without us, and you deal with so many refugees per day. I did not think this would be an unusual variable. Do you have a preference?
No worries. He's fine. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine. He's totally fine.
All right.
But if you're gonna patrol, if you want to, how to say this?
Please.
So I had told you that many people come through, right, and use this place as a way station and leech our supplies like a bunch of assholes. I mean, leech our supplies like they're supposed to, and because we're here to help people.
No.
And, but they say that they would leave, and a few times we've found just bits and pieces of them, just to the north.
To the north. That's exactly the kind of thing I was going to ask. Where's the trouble areas? To the north.
There's Mori says that she's seen people out there, but I don't think so. I think it's her imagination. If anything could do that, it must be far, far larger than any human. It's like truly sadistic. But up there, I believe there are a few more of the remote cabins that that people had lived in before the town had fell. Definitely worth a gander.
Eric will be making a few notes into his journal. Cabins to the north. Mary, you are a treasure to this town, and I thank you. I will be more than happy to take my team up there to take a look.
Where you go?
Aye.
I have So a few of you guys have come by before, yeah, and they've like made this offer and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps promised better accommodations. Not that I want to leave these people, because these people do really need me, but yeah.
You would, a person of your talents, I'm fairly certain, could find their ways in Fort Vegapath. Yes, ma'am. You'd need to talk to one or two people when you got there, but a capable person like yourself, yes.
This place is a little better off. We could talk more, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Perfectly welcome.
Great. Just give you a little wink.
Eric would smile and grin, actually grin a little bit and nod. Aye. Aye. And, I would, talk to Vincent last to let the people get the song as much as possible, but I would subtly start to get, the rest of, the soldiers together.
I just like as I finished my second song, I bow and I said, "Thank you, everyone." Those
You still got that one dude who's fixed on you.
I bow towards him and I say, "My good sir, thank you for the applause."
You get this vigorous clap and 2 thumbs up and a smile.
That warms my heart.
And as Vincent comes down, you would see Eric smiling very much and offering his hand in a handshake.
To me.
Yes, to you. And as you take his hand, there would be a gold in it that he'd subtly give to you.
Huh. Why? Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
Spreading goodwill is exactly what we need to do around here. You do that anytime around here you feel like it. For right now, though, we do have a mission we need to do. Mary reports we've got some disturbances up north. That's our job, gentlemen.
Eric, I did want to ask you, the man that was it Lesile?
Jaceel, I've talked with Mary. Thus far, she feels perfectly fine with him here. She knows exactly where we'll be. If there's a problem, I'm very certain they'll send a runner up to get us.
Right. Do you feel fine leaving him here, though?
Well, look at it this way. He was already on his way to Ogden. He was going to get here regardless. And you heard Mary herself say that they have refugees come and go on a regular basis. So, if anything, they're in a better position for the simple fact we're here on patrol tonight.
There's just something off about him.
I don't deny that, but one thing to keep in mind is that there's something off on just about every square mile of this isle. That's something you've got to learn with this war, son.
Well, that's true. All right. Well, yeah, as much as I would love to just stay here and playing, I suppose we do have a job.
And Lady Mary, I'm serious. You need anything? Send a runner. We'll be back.
Thank you so much.
Northwood Ho, gentlemen.
Right? Follow.
Right. Jin is going to check on Jaceel one more time. If he's asleep, he's just going to leave him be. But if he's kind of somewhat conscious, he's just going to greet him and follow the rest of the
You
soldiers.
see, as you would lean in, he'd creep just one eye open.
Oh well, Jaceel, it was a pleasure meeting you. We are headed up to address some of our responsibilities. Hope we meet again. And
May our paths cross in the future.
I don't like that.
We don't know enough about him to like it or not.
Jin kind of backs away a little bit, has this uneasy smile, and turns back and regroups with the team.
Off we go, gentlemen.
Yep. You're right. Right. Off we go.
As you guys would gather your stuff, make your way northward, hold on, group together so I can just copy and paste you all.
Oh.
Okay.
It's nice and easy, so we're on the map. So as you do pick yourselves up, make your way to the north, you find as you push northward out of Ogden, there's only a bit of a town, maybe 50, 60 feet, right? A few rows of buildings to make your way past. Most of these, say, fall into foundation, but a few retaining walls remain. The occasional door frame that still stands. But as you guys would make your way up, if I could just have someone roll investigation check and a perception check for me. Two different people, whoever wants to do it. Ideally, you should be proficient.
Vincent, I'd like you on at least one of those rolls. Those guys did very well earlier.
I can take perception. I'm proficient in that.
I don't have any proficiency in either of them.
The only thing I could handle is perception, so could you handle investigation by chance?
Yep, I can do that.
Sounds fine. I'll
And,
take...
Of course, a jack of all trades. I got a 6.
Dirty 20 on perception.
Nice. Oh.
As you guys make your way out, and Eric, you do keep your eyes peeled. Having been somewhat familiar with the area, right? Maybe not to this very place, but you've seen this terrain quite a few times by now, so it's easy enough for you to peer through the trees, keep an eye out for any threats. Unfortunately, it takes you quite a bit of time to locate these areas that you're looking for. As you would make your way out of the town back into the spotted woods, along a few dirt trails before you found what might be your destination at least. At the second one out, you would come across this, not necessarily a hole, but fairly sizable divot or trench cut across this path that you'd be walking, seemingly running almost 15, 16 feet in length, about 3 or 4 feet deep. It's as if some massive object, perhaps a tree, even had struck the ground, but since does not remain. And as you guys would walk, you'd find a few of these.
I would like to send Odin out on a fly round, see if his perception picks up anything more a little further out.
Roll with the owl for me.
Just waiting for you to request it. That's going to be 22.
22. He doesn't seem to see much, although he does see a faint bit of smoke. Possibly the remnants of a campfire put out somewhat recently that still seems to trail through the air on a brief little hilltop, not 50, 60 feet off into the woods.
And I'll simply tell the team, not seeing anything obvious aside from a bit of smoke and a fire on the hilltop, but with absence of anything else, that seems the most logical thing to pursue. Do I need to say, be on guard? All right, then. Be on guard.
Oh, yes. No, you're right. I was no, yeah, nope. You don't need. Yep, we're good.
Vincent, I love you. And I'm going to make a soldier out of you one of these days, and I'll just kind of give him a little nice tap to the cheek.
Oh, boy, I really don't think you will, but let's go ahead.
And we will approach.
As you make your way up, you see as the cliff would seem to, this cliff hill, would seem to rise and fall. As you make your way into the woods to your right, it would seem to descend a bit. As the wood would grow thick, to your left, it would seem to climb sharply to about 15, 20 feet. As there would truly almost be a high road and a low road. Where would you like to go?
My preference is generally the high road, as altitude allows greater observation.
Agree.
Forward high road.
I'll follow Eric.
You guys would push through. There'd be the faint sound of a running stream in the distance. Not all too strong, as you just catch the trail of it. As you'd make your way towards that smoke that you would saw, Eric. Bit by bit, you guys would find yourself at the face of this cliff right here. Wandering down at a fairly recent campfire. Jane, if I could have you roll perception for me. You haven't really done it yet. If we want to take a gander around as you watch them push forward.
Okay. Oh, at one. Not a good day for me.
In the woods, that's for sure. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of noises. But as you do push forward, make your way to this edge, look down at this campfire. It would be about 30, 35 feet down. A somewhat steep drop. Definitely not climbing by the sheer cliff itself. Would take a bit of something to get down there. But off to your left, as you look down at this fire, just for a brief instant, the faint trill of laughter of an adult male catches your ear. Passers would pick that one up. And as you do look down at the woods, you do see what seems to be at least 2 or 3 backpacks skewing about.
These are the men we're looking for.
I think that is highly probable. You said that we heard the laugh off to the left.
Seems to be jovial.
Jovial. Why is jovial always make me the most nervous? Well, so far, this has worked decently. And I should do this more often. Jin, I'm going to go ahead and fly Odin just a little bit. If something happens right here, please slap my chest. My eyes and ears are going to be in the bed.
Will do.
Alright, and I want to play fair, so I'll get the measuring tape out. Oh, I've got distance for days. Okay. So I'll have Odin come over here and perch on this bit of rock outcropping to see if he sees anything more.
She gets a bit closer, through a bit of shrubs and trees. As the laughter would still be quite a bit further away than where he is.
Okay.
But it would grow louder for him, as he could see a bit of smoke and just the faint passing of silhouettes nigh 100 feet more from where he is, further to the west. As there'd be the flicker of a fire, movement of figures.
Okay. I'd snap back to myself then, just kind of let him park there. We've got fire about another 100 feet out to the west, and it sounded like multiple peoples?
More than one, that's for sure.
Alright. Well, we definitely have a group of people there, which actually makes me feel slightly better than what I had feared, unless it's more than what I had feared, but I don't want to worry you guys about that right now. Looks like we've got a party of people, fire about another 200 feet on the west.
Just really quickly, before we, do anything rash,
Uh-huh.
what exactly are we gonna do with these people? We're gonna have a talk, right? We're gonna talk this out.
Dude, I can be very persuasive in talking. Talking is my proficient in combat.
Eric will just kind of look at him and... You see those backpacks on the floor? Do you think they were just that persuasive to get to the backpacks? Yeah. Have...
But maybe we can just ask for them back, We can just,
Vincent?
Yeah,
You're in the army?
right?
Okay. Believe me, as you clearly saw, okay, I'm willing to talk. And if I think the people will talk, we'll talk. But I didn't survive by talking my way out of most places.
Understood.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna stand
Yeah.
behind you then.
that's fine. I will happily bear the shield for people. Never a question with that. Anyone is welcome behind my shield. That's fine. Now, turning my attention to the guerrilla warfare that we're on.
As you would turn your head, Eric, does an 18 hit your owl? As you'd hear
Oh,
the sound
shit.
of a bow, as it would
Oh, yeah.
through the woods.
Do I see where the attack came from?
Right from the trees. Right from where the camera. Ooh, and it's a... Wow, that's a lot of damage. 11?
Oh, yeah. It's a familiar. It's a 1-point wonder.
Yeah. So as it would buff, as it poof, in the smoke here. Fuck was that? Oi, Jeremy! That was supposed to be... Boys. As you watch as the fire in the distance would be doused.
I call that
Bit of smoke and
fired upon. Let's keep
What
it...
do you guys like to do? They don't seem to see you.
Baldum ready, he's pulling his scimitar out, ready for combat.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if we can get ourselves just a little closer. But yeah, I don't think this is a talking day, Vincent.
Right.
Is there a way to kind of stay on the high ground and walk further to the west?
Yeah, you'd see that this would trail down just enough for you to make your way over.
That would be the route I'd take them.
So as you guys do make your way forward, at what pace are we doing it? Are we Sneaky quiet, or are we huffing it?
I would like to try to be as stealthy as possible. With me on the team, that's going to be difficult, I realize, but we're going to try.
I'm gonna reach out and touch Eric like on the shoulder and cast invisibility on him.
Oh, God bless you. God bless you. All right.
So we
I'm-
make a stealth roll, or
If you want to be sneaky, I need a group stealth check. Unless just Eric wants to go up invisible.
I actually wouldn't have a problem going up solo, especially with invisibility and given my natural playstyle. I would. All right.
I would still like to be quiet and stick to the tree.
Yeah.
So
Roll stealth for me if you want to be sneaky.
Yeah.
I got a 9.
Okay, you think you're doing pretty good. You like hold up some leaves to your face as you duck behind a trail.
Oh,
Little
gosh.
sapling.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I am going to watch. I'm going to travel probably at half speeds, watching where I put my feet so I do not step on the dang alert sticks, and try to get myself to a position where I can get closer to these gentlemen, leaving room.
Stealth at advantage as you make your way forward. Jin, what
Excellent.
do you want to do as you see invisible Eric disappear and make his way off into the woods?
So Jin takes out his hand crossbow, kind of getting ready for anything that might any threats. My half plate here is not the stealthiest, not the quietest type of armor. I'm going to be on the lookout. If anything happens, I'll back up Eric, but I'm just going to stay put, try to be out of earshot for now.
Okay. Do I recognize race and armor of what we've got around the fire yet?
As you get closer, they seem to be wearing almost nothing. A few of them have leather or studded leather. They all look to be human. Bodies war-torn and scarred.
Okay.
As even from this distance, you can see that these men have seen battle.
All right. And I would try to bring that walk back to our crew and whisper as quietly as I can possibly say, 4 humans, no to minimal armor. Definitely look to be a bit more war-torn. Still would approach with caution.
As you get closer, you would hear the one turn to the other. Jeremy, you smell that? I think I do. As you watch as one would cock his head once, and in but an instant would seem to shift and grow just a bit larger.
Oh.
You hear the crack of bones.
Alrighty.
He's big.
Whoa!
oh man, oh.
You'd watch as this more bestial creature would put his nose to the ground and start to make his way into the woods, closer to you guys.
I'm still staying close to Eric.
I would recommend not.
Oh well, actually I can't see you, but I am gonna make my way a little bit further forward.
We can see this creature, this boar-like creature.
Yeah, it seems to stand about 6'5". Now it's say on all fours, right? So it's pretty low to the ground.
Got it.
As it's on approach, I'm going to sit still and sit invisible and try to let it get between Jin and I to ready for possible flanking position, as well as monitor what the other 3 are going to do.
Jin is going to kind of gesture to Vincent and Baldium that he's going to take cover and try to like hide as best he can. He's going to aim. Just kind of. He's not going to fire yet, but he's just kind of getting ready to fire at the creature in front of us.
Yeah. Do you want to ready an action in case it does anything, or?
Yes. If it looks like it notices Eric and starts to
Okay.
attack Eric, I'm gonna fire. Yeah.
For sure. Roll stealth region though, as you do go to tuck yourself away.
Sure, so I have that half plate, so I'm gonna have
Disadvantage.
disadvantage. Yeah.
As you watch as the boar-like creature, as you put it, would make its way forward, the other humanoids, bit by bit, slowly would fan out and start to comb this little brush.
I'm going to, if I have time to like do an action, I'd like to cast thaumaturgy, and 30 feet from me, just make it sound like their footsteps, like over here.
You do not quite have the full 6 seconds at this point.
All right, never mind then.
All good.
I rolled a 12 at disadvantage.
Okay, it's not bad. That's not bad at all. Actually, disadvantage. As this creature would make it to about here, as it wouldn't see Eric, but it was turned back towards its allies and here, as it would look, and it would see Vincent and start to full sprint towards him. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
Right. Here we go. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yep, exactly right. Grab a secondary icon, put it off to the side. And then generally what you do is code in your AC and or your initiative AC, then your armor class.
Jesus, this dice is going in timeout. It just gets thrown across the rim.
Wait. Initiative HP then?
No, just your AC. That's all you need.
Oh, okay.
Just for quick reference, so it's nice and easy. I've got your HP. As we come, looks like Eric, you're up first, top of the order, my friend. Now, you guys, whoever has the higher dexterity would go first, if you both have 14.
How the heck did I get first? Alrighty.
Dexterity.
Well,
I have a +1 in dexterity.
Sorry, you have a what?
A +1 in dexterity. Just
Right, I
one.
do too. Do you have a 13 or a 12?
Oh, 12.
Alright, then we're the same. Do you want to go first?
Up to you. Or either one.
Yeah, how about you go first?
Okay.
Eric, what would you like to do as you watch this creature mid-stride now, rushing towards Vincent? As it would seem to tear apart. You can see the dust it kicks up behind it.
all right. I would do a quick yell of Vincent, take this, take cover. I'll go ahead and make an attack on this thing. Invisibility in this variable. Does that do anything for me?
If you're invisible, it can't see you. You attack with advantage.
Excellent. Then, yes, I will absolutely engage this thing with advantage. Bringing out my sword. And... No, wait, wrong one. I want this one. And I'll strike it with a 15.
15 just hits.
Excellent. Which brings 20 in damage.
As you get into this thing, it digs deep into its collarbone as it would stagger to the side mid-stride.
All right. I've just struck the thing. I'm assuming I'm no longer invisible.
And yep, you are visible as that blood would shoot over you.
Hello, friendly. And then we'll go ahead and do it again. I'm assuming this one's a flat roll then. And then I'll pull my blade out again, spin around, and miss it with a 1. But I will go ahead and put myself between it and Vincent. And we'll do the dance.
If that ends your turn, Baldwin, you are up, man. These guys are pretty slow on the draw. But what you'd like to do is you watch Eric tear the fuck into this thing.
I want to. I'm gonna move myself. Let's see, how much is this? Myself about 25 feet. Over here.
Here, I can drop it right off this map.
And then, how far is cast my cantrip, I can point at a creature's soul of death.
Roll the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your save DC?
The saving is 13.
13. So you'd hold out your hand, right, and there'd be this faint sound of bells. As for just but a moment, this creature would respond with this growl, as it would seem to canceling it out as it would save.
I am my turn.
Right. Vincent, what would you like to do?
Oh boy. Oh my gosh. He is huge. He's huge.
What about the thing in front of me?
That's what I was. Anyways, I'm just gonna sing out. Is your Eric? What is your weapon?
Sword.
It's a sword. Okay. I'm gonna sing out. Bang bang, Eric's silver sword came down upon their heads. Bang bang, Eric's silver sword made sure that they were dead. And I'm just gonna like sing that and cower behind a tree. I'm gonna move back. I'm trying to give him inspiration.
Yes. You're a D6, right, at level 3?
Yeah.
Alright. You have inspiration, Eric, and you could take actual inspiration for that, Vincent.
Yay!
Gorgeous. Is that end your turn, man?
Yep, that's it for me.
Alright. As believe it or not, Jin, you're up as they rolled a 4.
Oh, really?
What would you like to do as you hear this beautiful tune belted out by your new ally?
Alright, Jin's kind of bobbing his head to the tune, and he's going to, let's see, get in range. See, will that if I fire from here, can I hit the boar there, or is that considered like half cover because he's kind of behind Eric?
No, he's good.
Okay.
When even half cover, would just increases AC. But yeah, you'd have a clear shot as they seem to like move around and dance back and forth in that 5-foot space.
Cool. So Jin is going to fire off 2 crossbow bolts.
2 crossbow bolts.
First one is an 18.
How are you shooting 2 crossbow bolts?
Oh, I have crossbow expert.
Oh, yep. Fuck yeah.
So
Yeah.
Should I roll damage first, or should I just? Sure, I'll just roll the damage first, I guess. Let's go. That would be for 8 damage. Ow. And then quickly reloads. Ooh, oh, critical. Oh shoot.
Oh, nicely.
Loads. Still an 8 though. 4 rolls, but let's see. Yep. And then he's just gonna. Yeah, he doesn't make a sound. He just kind of quietly moves up to maximum speed, and end his turn right there. You're right, Eric. Calls out as he tries to create a wall.
Attic just looks and nods and smiles.
As Eric, you're gonna watch as this creature, as they're finally up, look you up once and twice, see Jin there near the edge, and is going to circle around you and do his best to slam into your new ally. As that is a 17 to hit, Jin.
Watch out for
Just
the
it.
cliff! I'm gonna
Oh,
cut in
boy.
words.
Cutting words?
Let's see, that's 56.
I think no matter what. It'll cut it, yeah, it doesn't matter, it's AC 17, yeah.
Sweet. I go.
It would stumble for just a moment and push past over his shoulder.
I'm just yelling, watch out for the cliff! Made you look.
Can I try something just as he gets into my range?
If you have a reaction.
I do have a reaction. I kind of at my shoulder. It has a rune right there, and he says, I call out to the boar as I say, "Calm down, friend. We're friendlies. This is a misunderstanding." Basically, it's a stone rune. So DC 12 but if he fails, it's a wisdom check or wisdom DC saving throw, whatever. He gets charmed and his movement is 0. But so that was kind of I was hoping I could do as I see this charging beast.
And as you call out and touch the rune, you'd watch it glow for a brief moment, and you'd see it hesitate for just a second before its eyes would grow bloodshot and seemingly consumed with that rage it pushes through. It saves with 17.
Bummer. Okay.
The other guys are up there, so you're gonna see the 2 in the back with the blue around them. We're gonna draw these bows as they're going to fire off 2 shots. One at Eric and one in the back at Vincent as it arcs up down through the trees. Oop, that dice goes bouncing out. On Eric, that's a 23.
Shield!
And Vincent, that's only a 7. That's it with whoosh.
Hi. Oh. Oh.
You shielded Eric.
Yep.
Alright. As that goes up, the other one who's left is going to full sprint forward as fast as he can and use his action dash midway through shifting, ending just next to Baldwin.
Wait, so you said the shot at me did miss? Or...
It didn't miss. It was a 7. It was a 7, yeah. 7 doesn't hit. Just next to you.
Got it.
As this one will shift and now use his action to get where he is, but that ends their turn as we come to top of the order. Eric, you're up. What would you like to do as you see this creature behind you eyeing up Jin?
Let's see here. I'm trying to take care of one thing here first as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dance around with the gentleman to get into flanking positions.
Yes.
And then I'll take my sword and we'll go ahead and go for a tad. Roll. And that is 13 on the first one. So he must ducks or something. I go ahead for a second spin.
Is that with advantage, Eric?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I had like a 6 and a 13. And for the second swing, gets a 16.
16 hits.
For 16 in damage.
And you just cut this fucking thing in half. Nice.
Right.
Shoulder to hip.
Form the line, take care of the archers.
And just sighs, big sigh of relief.
Is that into your turn, Eric?
Let's see. That's 2 there. That's my 2 attacks. And we've got another one. I missed the other one getting by Baldwin then. You take care of the archers, I'll take care of the bastard. So I'll go ahead and throw an action surge in then.
Okay.
Trying to toggle my thing, features and traits. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and... Alright, where was I? 5, 10, 15, 20. Good, I can get into flanking for here. And again, Attic likes to go for the heads. He'll swing around for... Wow, just 8. So I must have tripped over a branch as I'm swinging. But I recover, and I go for a second swing then. That's going to settle on 19.
19 does hit, yes.
Which brings in 18 worth of damage.
Alright, as you whoosh, catch into this thing, you find this one a little beefier, a little stronger than the other, as your blade doesn't quite seem to go as deep as you'd expect. But you cut it nice.
End turn.
Baldwin, what would you like to do? As the Viking appears behind this, whatever the fuck this thing is.
They're all in range. So, oh no, they're not in range. The beast is currently engaged with Eric, right?
Mm-hmm. Engage both of you.
Okay. So,
Flank, yes.
I guess I'll help kill this thing. I don't have range attacks that can reach that far. So I'll throw, I'll just throw a hit with my double scimitar.
Yeah.
Does 15 hit?
Mm-hmm. Just barely.
Roll for damage. 8.
Hey, alright, you just cut into it. Not quite as good as Eric, but you shave off a nice piece of flesh and fur from this thing's back.
And that's all I can do.
Alright. Vincent, what would you like to do as you watch this unfold not 5-10 feet in front of you?
Oh yeah. Oh no. I'm gonna move back 5, 10, 15 feet there, and I'm just gonna look at this charging were-boar thing looking crazed monster, and I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers. I just start rapping at it. I go, a nymph, one of peace's proponents, never flights but seduces opponents. Their violence she quell as if using a spell. You should see her material components.
And you confuse the fuck out of it and it rolls a 2.
Yes! It's gonna be 3d6 damage. Let's do it. Oh, that's 6 psychic damage.
Ah, wins for a bit of moment. Is this it whispers it burns its reaction to run from you?
Yeah, it runs as far as it can in the opposite direction.
Would make it to about there.
Avoiding dangerous terrain.
Yes.
So it doesn't-
It's not gonna jump off the cliff. That ends your turn.
Alright, yeah.
Jin, what would you like to do as you watch this? I saw Vincent spit whatever the hell that was. This thing gives a perturbed look, it winces a bit of it, and just seems to run away in fear.
Right. Let's see. So, kind of seeing that creature is looks like it's fleeing. Jin is gonna focus on to kind of remember what Eric was saying. He's like state of the mission, and he's going to get into range. Let's see. I think right here is enough to hit, and he's gonna fire. He's gonna attack this guy right here, the archer, with 2 crossbow bolts. Takes aim. Ooh, 17 to hit.
Hits, yeah.
Does that hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely.
For 7. Yeah. Right. First shot, 7 points of piercing damage.
Right.
He fires again. That's an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
And let's see. Come on, good numbers. 8. So that's 8 more.
Nice.
So it's like 15.
Hit him twice. You'd watch as he'd fall to a knee and pick himself back up. You certainly warned at him, which is those 2.
Got it. And then he's going to take a step back. Is going prone a free action?
Ooh, I would say yeah, it's a free action.
Okay, and then just kind of remembering his soldier training, he just kind of ducks down and tries to take as much cover as possible from the artillery there, and that ends his turn.
All right. As you end your turn, this guy is up. No longer affected by dissonant whispers. Jeremiah is going to see the human that has laid down next to him.
Oh no!
What is going to fucking come at you full speed? As, oh dear, that's a crit.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And you take 13 piercing damage as it gets you with the tusk and as it throws into you. I need a strength saving throw.
Okay.
And disadvantage as it goes to knock you down this cliff.
Oh geez. Okay. Let's see. That's not one of my strength saving throw. Let's see. Okay. With disadvantage, right? So let's see.
What's this? Yeah, you're prone.
Yep. Oh, phew. Well, at least I got 16.
So yeah, it's enough. You just managed to fucking like dig one hand and lean back into this thing. You just wrist to the edge.
Oh boy. All right. And I got 13 points of damage. All right.
Yes.
So the blood's just starting to trickle down to the side. It's a little bit confused, yeah. Hanging on to the grass just before falling off.
Archers are up as Timmy and Jimmy. You get him, Jeremiah! As they are going, let out 2 arrows. Way out at both of them. Ooh, first one's a fucking miss by a mile. Second one's a little better as he rolls a 15 to hit. No, it is not. As you just knock it out of the way with your weapon as it comes in. Well, that ends their turn. Become top of the order. Eric, you are up, sir. What would you like to do?
That's my soldier, bastard! As Eric runs up behind Jeremiah. Does it still count as flanking if he's prone?
Still count.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Sure. This thing's out for blood. It sees a human on the ground. It's hungry.
So am I. Rolling an 18. Going for its head with 18 more damage.
And you lop this thing clean off as you cover it, pour Jin in blood.
How does Jin look?
Bloodied.
Okay.
But can still carry on. Yep.
He will slip a potion of healing to you. And then... Pardon?
Yeah, it's just I have interaction to give it to him, that's all.
Yeah. Then, let's see. I was over here for... I can do one more thing. No, I was using a sword. I wanted to pull a javelin out and throw it. Do I have enough action to do?
You cannot, no. As you gave him the potion, that's your item interaction.
Well, I'd rather he
Why
have the
say?
potion. I'd rather he have the potion for it anyway. I will just stand guard over him then.
All right, Baldwin, what would you like to do as you watch those arrows come in, one falling way shy, the other one just a bit closer?
If I dash, will I still make like an intimidation check?
If you dash, can you make an intimidation check? If you want to roll to make a check, it is an action.
Could I possibly assist with that somehow?
No.
Alright, so,
I wanted to.
I guess I'll just dash to get their attention. Let's see how far I am. I can reach that square right there.
60 feet. You can get right in front of Timmy if you want to.
Right here if I dash. Dash is double the movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can dash here. And, yeah, that's all I can do.
All right. Vincent, what would you like to do as you watch Baldwin run off?
I'm going to run forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Is that my full movement? Let's see. Or 60 feet. Okay, so he's 60 feet away from me. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna attempt to cast Hold Person on Timmy there. That's a DC 13 Wisdom.
You hold your hand out. Do your best to focus. There's a moment where his muscles twitch, but he doesn't seem to be affected by it.
Dang it. Alright, yeah, I think that ends my turn then.
All right. Jin, what would you like to do? A bit bloodied and worse for wear.
Right. Thank you, Eric. He says, and seeing that his ally Baldium is heading out, he says, "Hold on a little while longer, I think." And then he comes over here, and then just makes this like kind of like this from this guttural kind of yell, and he starts to kind of like not like this natural growth, but he turns like he grows to like 12 feet in size, and then he fires a crossbow bolt at Timmy. Let's see. Okay, 26.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. I hope 26 hits for you.
Right.
You're real bad.
And then it's an extra d6. Shoot. Where's that go? Oh yeah. Let me just roll one of these. Is it right if I just roll again? looking right here, but that's a straight 5. So 14 total.
Mhm. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're just adding the extra 6. Yeah, all good. So, yeah, 14 total. And it would catch him as you'd watch as he'd spin back a bit, bloodied out. He'd cough up just a bit of blood. As he looks near death.
Right. And he's just gonna. Let's see. He's hurting though. So he's just gonna stay there. Just reload his crossbow.
Right.
I'll move over here so everyone else can pass me by if needed.
As we come through to these two guys, as you're gonna watch, they're going to throw their bows to the side and surround Baldwin as they each pull out these daggers. It's like, I'm gonna do their best to shank him prison style. So that's a natural 1 for the first one. That's a 22 for the second one. A little better. Baldwin, you take 3 piercing damage and 5 poison damage. As there's this burn that seems to linger and spread out from the wound. As Jimmy gets you good right in the back.
Count as disease.
Poison is not a disease.
Okay.
That ends their turn though. As we come top of the order, Eric.
Apologies, I had some technical difficulties there.
Okay.
Do you need something from me?
It is your turn, my friend.
Excellent. Alrighty. I have... Well, I can get to one of them easy enough. Hey, Jimmy! Eric comes running and screaming. And, oh, shoot. This one oh, wait. I will use my inspiration to roll at advantage.
You just added a d6.
Oh.
For inspiration.
Bardic inspiration.
Oh, Bardic Inspiration. Misunderstood.
Different than regular inspiration. Yeah.
I misunderstood that. Oh, I'm sorry. I just hit the Inspiration tab and then...
Okay.
No problem. That's fine. I'll go with the regular screen for once. Which gives me a 19.
Yeah.
Producing 18 of damage as I swing for this guy's head.
You comes through as you just seem to catch the pauldron, push through this faint bit of leather, and it stops and leaves quite the gash in his neck, but not deep enough to do him in.
No problem. I have a secondary swing, so as I pull it out from his neck, I go ahead and spin around the other direction, go for the neck the other direction. Which will completely miss. And I'll stand my ground and turn.
Baldwin, what would you like to do? These guys on either side of you.
How much health does Jin have right now?
Am I allowed to say? Or
It's best not to give a number, you know, like, he looks
Yeah.
sucked up. He's hurt.
he's hurt, but he's gonna be okay.
Alright.
on a scale of 1 to 24, a 79. No, yeah.
Do I figure? And if an opponent go prone, they'll use the next turn to get up.
It's half movement to stand up.
They stand up. Okay.
What would you like to do, Baldwin?
I'll just attack with my scimitar again.
Alright, which one? Timmy or Jimmy?
On Timmy.
Timmy.
I'm roll for hit. I got an 8.
An 8, not quite enough, as he easily parries it with the daggers. Whoosh.
Alright, that's the end of my turn.
Alright, Vincent, what would you like to do as you see massive Jin in front of you?
Oh my, he's big now too. Oh great. Everyone's big. Why is everyone big? Why is everyone getting big? I'm gonna walk forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet there. And let's see. I'm gonna cast. I'm just gonna use vicious mockery at Jimmy there. I'm gonna say, my grandmother can hit harder than you. DC 13.
He rolls quite well, and you see he just turns his head and just flips you the bird.
Oh, how dare he! And that's it. I'm gonna end my turn there.
As you end your turn, Jin, you're up, sir. What would you like to do?
Okay, can I tell which one looks hurt more? Me or Jimmy?
They both look pretty fucked up. They're both damn near covered in blood. You likely think you could do either of them in with relative ease.
Got it. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but in the last round when I got up, so is it alright if I take my full movement? Or
You're new. I'll let it happen, but make sure you say it next time.
yeah, okay. I'll remember. I realized that.
Okay, go for it, dude. What would you like to do? You have your full movement. Snack away.
Alright, so I flank Timmy while he's distracted, and just gonna fire 2 bolts into his back. Oh, that one.
Ooh.
Second one. Oh my gosh, terrible rolls. 12. Oh, I forgot that's not with advantage. The first
Yeah,
one.
you do get it because you have like that weird combination of.
Right. So the second, so I missed my first shot. Oh my gosh, does a 15 hit?
A 15, yeah, just hits.
Okay, or actually it was a 21, but let's see. Sweet. So, let me see. Okay. So that's 10 points total. The giant.
As he turns briefly, and as he just catches you with a single eye, you just catch him point blank, right into the left eyeball, as you fall over.
Right.
That ends your turn.
Yep, that ends my turn.
And you're gonna watch as Jimmy is going to look around at both Baldwin and Eric. Is going to action disengage. As he gives a little like stutter step. Is going to take his odds with the fall damage and jump off this fucking cliff. Let's see. Yep. Oh no. You know, he goes down and takes damn near full damage as he catches his head on the side of the cliff, tumbling down, taking 26 points of bludgeoning damage.
What?
But his mangled remains are down there. And that ends initiative, guys.
Right.
Hello, we've come to help. All right, medical check. Who's bleeding? And I mean, like, you feel like you've lost half of your blood.
You know what? I think I can. I feel my second win here. I think might not need this. And
How about you hold on to for the next mission? I've got 2 more in my belt.
sounds good. Thanks, Eric. Paige, is it okay if I use my second win feat?
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. Okay. So just kind of patch myself up.
All right, after medical check. This is a
As we
girl.
wrap up initiative, let's take 5 minutes right here. As It's
Okay.
a good time. Take a little break. Get a glass of water. Use the bathroom. We've been going for about 2 hours. Like we have like 90 minutes left, I would say, perhaps, unless you guys go decide to try to take over the town.
That's an option? Oh.
Oh, I would prefer not to.
But I'll be right back because I have to use the restroom.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Me too.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Eric back.
Jin is back.
All of them here.
I think we're waiting on Baldwin.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there's Baldwin. Everybody here?
Jin is here.
Eric
Yes,
here.
no. Take that as a no. Oh, unless my mic's fucking up. Ooh, I thought Jin was going to get knocked off that cliff for a moment.
As we're having just a bit of a rest, I'd kindly suggest, Jin, I understand going prone against artillery. I wouldn't try it when you've got ground forces that close to you again.
Yes, that was
I
poor choice that I made.
heat of the moment, I understand. That's why we go out in teams.
And he kind of like gives Eric that forearm clasp shake, and he says, "I'll always have your back, Eric. You know you have mine."
That's all I ask. You'll do just fine, and he'll hold that and slap you on your shoulder as well. Hey.
Vincent's back, right? No, he's not muted. We'll give them another minute. They're not packing enough Bibles. Go on, you guys could loot and search without them.
Oh,
The Deus Maximus is assuming what we're going to do.
Poor Jimmy, man, taking fucking damn near max fall damage. 1 point shy of max fall damage.
Again, why are people running away from me? I'm not that scary.
Okay, I take half damage anyway, I'll be fine.
Jin, while we're waiting, Jin is just kind of look around to see if he can retrieve any of his bolts.
Make an investigation check. As you go to the body, you just kind of look around.
Probably didn't find anything of 4.
4, you find 1, as you can pull
One,
it from one of the
okay.
corpses, as it's still intact.
Got it.
Hard to miss.
Nice.
Can I look at their campfire?
Yeah, you make your way over. Roll investigation for me. Is everybody back? Let me get search up Baldwin. I think you're still waiting for me. Go for it.
Is that investigation?
Yes. As you make your way over, you'd see that there seem to be stones gathered from the area. No obvious bags around. What was it?
Oh no, I just made a joke. I rolled a 7.
Oh, 7. At a glance, you don't see much. You do find about a day's worth of rations, tucked away in a little bag. It's a mix of dried meat and nuts.
If
You
memory,
find a single dagger.
if memory serves, there's a few backpacks that we'll want to check out on the way out also. But I want to cover a couple of details here as well. I was waiting for Vincent to wake up from wherever he's hidden in this forest. While we wait, would a couple of you assist me in chopping up some of the limbs of this tree? We're going to want to have a fire here shortly. Go ahead and just throw them into the campfire.
Easy enough. Your large and somewhat strong selves to chop away this tree. No need to make rolls for it, as I imagine you would swing until you hit it.
Yeah. Now, something to keep in mind here. We're fighting against an enemy that likes to make use of the dead and all sorts of necrotic evils. So once you've had an encounter, standard protocol is you burn the bodies. Because bodies you leave around can wind up to come and get you a second time. It's part of the reason I told you to bring an axe or a tinderbox or another way to make fire.
Bodies should be burned. Noted.
Aye. Trust me. I made that mistake on one mission, one encounter, once. And the captain corrected me. And I'm correcting you far nicer than the captain did.
How big is the emblem? Is it like the size of a coin, or?
Is what?
An emblem. Like, is it like the size of a coin, or is it larger?
What emblem?
I have emblems in my inventory.
That you found? Your emblem? Likely, yeah. Probably about the size of a coin. Maybe the size of your palm. The starting ones? Typically, yeah. But I mean, you could say it's that comes with the use, so it could be somewhat varied to your liking, right?
I'll just pick one up, like the shape of a coin, really, just for fun, and offer to show him a trick.
Go ahead.
Boldum, he kind of flips the coin to where it walks between his fingers as he moves them up and down, and then he flicks it to his other hand, and he opens it up as it disappears. Yeah, and he kind of goes behind Gwen's ear and pull the coin out.
Roll sleight of hand for people.
Yeah.
As in a past life, Sage was actually a professional magician, briefly.
Oh, awesome.
long ago in college.
Once I fell out of my hands, I got a 9.
Yeah, as you go to do it, it would think and kind of just behind his ear and fall and like almost hit the cuff of his shirt and fall into it as he'd feel the cold metal press against him.
Say ta-da!
All right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we took out 2 things that were mostly human and the 2 things that were pretty much beastie. If I'm not mistaken.
Bodies, I counted.
Okay. I have half a mind to probably take the legs and arms off of the beasts, but bring the torsos back down to the village for them to barbecue them.
Sounds like slight cannibalism.
Like I said, half a mind. I'll fully admit, not every idea I have is a good idea.
I mean, look, if it's edible, I'm down. Edible food is still good.
Is Vincent still out in the woods? If I have to start a search party for that boy.
Oldham points to Eric's beard, noticing the amazing growth of such a strong, lengthy beard.
The picture's slightly out of date. That beard has been trimmed to where it's fairly decent across his face. But my hair is down to my shoulders.
Well, I'll compliment your hair instead of your beard, then.
Well, thank you. pretty much normal where I come from, and then I've been on the road for little over a year now, so it's not exactly a priority to keep things trimmed. Plus, like you, I like to look fierce on the battlefield.
Look fierce.
Have you seen your size, son?
I always thought that I was pretty normal size. I mean, my sister said I was.
I think your sister and my sister would have gotten along just fine.
Oh, they ran the
He'd be
village.
right here. He just had something come up in real life real quick. He's taking care of it.
That's
You
fine.
guys could push forward for a little bit. Totally cool.
All right, then. Once we've got a decent amount of brush under here, then standard procedure would be guerrilla warfare. We're going to search, loot, and burn. And usually I recommend you start the fire literally the last thing you do before you leave, because fire creates smoke, and smoke reveals your presence, and it's best to be on your way. So,
As we burn the bodies, can I like?
well, before we burn the bodies, I'd really like, take a look here. Any of you have, how shall I phrase, sticky fingers and sharp eyes for that sort of work?
Not really.
This is why I counted like Vincent to not be in the woods!
I do have crafty hands, but I've always been scolded by my mentor, Oro Brightstone. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's quite a famous craftsman, but he used to scold me because I lose things, my tools.
Yeah, I don't really have much handling with butchering, but I'm good at skinning.
No one is proficient in investigation. I will roll for Vincent, and I have his character sheet. I
Oh.
can have him roll for you guys.
Bless you, Deus
So He
Maximus.
would be here. I imagine he would go through. For you guys that are new, just the way the investigation works when I run it is all DMs will do it a little differently. Ooh, he doesn't roll well. He rolls 7. Is what it's right. What is there? You're always gonna find what's in the pockets as you take the time to go through it. Right? Is you're never gonna miss anything obvious. The proficiency is to look for things that would be hidden. Right? A seam tucked away in the sole of a shoe. Right? Something on the inside of a jacket pocket sewed into the linings. More stuff like that. Unfortunately, as he rolls a 7, he is a bit distracted. But as you do pass them in bit by bit and make your way through, collectively between the 3 that are up here, you'd have to go down and retrieve the 4th one if you want to. You would find about 87 gold pieces split between them,
Nice.
as well as these 2 daggers. And you would see that the poison has since worn off, but both daggers seem to be sheen and lined with silver.
Excellent. All right, and then once we've got those bodies searched and on the pile, then I'd recommend our way out. And on the way out, I'd use a firebolt to start the fire up.
And just jumps back and says, "How'd you do that?"
I've picked up a few parlor tricks along the way.
Any mushrooms? Marshmallows, maybe?
Unfortunately not. I've got glations. That's about what I have.
Can Boldham like cut a part of the boar, were-boar we killed? I guess.
Yeah, as you would have dragged it back over, you'd watch as most of the fur would have since faded, and it shifted mostly back towards human. Some of its facial features still a bit distorted, as you guys had done some real damage to it, and pieces that were kind of cut off and set ajar from the actual body haven't quite changed back. You're welcome to take a piece.
I was hoping to have a pelt too. Darn it. I'm looking for a nice
He knew he
cape.
was alive. It would have been painful, but worth the gold.
I'm not going to sell the pelt. I think I'd look even more intimidating on the field with a pelt.
No, the matter of fact, if it's skinned like he's alive, it'll still be bleeding, so even more intimidation.
All right, gentlemen, before this gets out of hand. If memory serves, the backpacks, I think, were on the lowered elevation. It looks potentially like there might be a way down to that lowered elevation to the west. Am I correct?
So you could certainly go over and take a gander. If you did, you'd find that it would descend a bit, but you couldn't quite get all the way down, as there'd still be about a 20-foot drop.
I have rope. Can I like lower the rope down and hold it?
And absolutely, if you have rope, you can mess with it and try to find a means.
Yeah,
You would also see that this single tree does rest across the base and runs down, which you could try to do a little balancing act if you'd like.
I would actually recommend a combination of them both. Because if we take the rope and just kind of put it around where the middle to where both lines are going down, you'll have the balance line on the tree. And then when all four of us are down there, we can easily just pull the rope down and you don't lose your rope.
I like your magic words, magic man.
I'm a sailor. Rope is practically in my jeans.
It'll be better off in your hands. So I hand him the 50 feet rope.
And this isn't a knot. This is just, I put one. I'll kind of draw it out a little bit here. This is just, the rope goes like here and the rope goes like here.
Yeah, easy enough to throw it around, throw it down.
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even see that whole section.
It was gonna look like completely different. I thought it was like wrapped around like the middle of the tree.
Ah, yes, I get it.
So as you guys make your way over, it is just a dexterity check, or rather acrobatics check to make your way down at advantage as you hold the rope to balance yourself. It's about a 20-foot way down. The tree itself seems to be a bit rotted, but stable enough.
I got 20 feet.
Oh, supposed to be my strong suit. I with advantage, I got a 9.
God! You'd see Jin, as he goes to make his way down, about 4 or 5 steps into it, would lose his balance as the tree would slide just a little bit and roll, as you would hit your ass hard and fall 15 feet to the ground, taking 7 left damage. As you'd hit hard on your tailbone.
Oh, alright. How much damage?
7.
Oh, okay.
Better you real than you had.
And growls.
I rolled a 20 for my dexterity check.
Yeah, with no trouble you make it down.
Freaking Batman. Alright.
Nice.
Uh,
Batman.
And I'm a fighter, not a dexter, so here goes nothing. 13.
13. By the skin of your teeth. You'd watch as Eric squares up, and now, after the heavy weight of both of them and those passing before him, a bit of it's kind of worn. And 2 steps in, Eric, your heel would sink into the bark itself as it would lose your balance, but thankfully the rope is there. As you do grab it, and with a bit of a hop and a skip, you make your way to the bottom.
I'll hand the end of the rope back to him. Thank you, sir. Let's go check out those backpacks.
Right.
So, as you drift your way back over to the east, following these bags, let's move you down. From about there. Easy enough to make your way over to them. As you'd see this fire, now grown cold, looking similar. There seems to be just brief bits of dried blood that you could see, as there's certainly combat here at some point in time.
Can I roll an investigation, see if there's anything left behind?
Yeah, certainly. Cross this area for me.
I got a 10.
10! As you go through, you don't seem to find much other than the bags themselves. Although, just a brief glimmer tucked under one of the trees to the side, there does seem to be a longsword. Just wedged into the ground. Your eyes catch it. The hilt seems to be somewhat well made, ornate. This mix of like this black and gold, with the gold likely faux painted on.
Alright. Sorry, I'm back.
I'll pull it out and raise to the air. I'm soon to be king.
Nice weight to it, seems normal enough.
Alright.
Vincent, all they've done is they searched those bodies. They didn't find much, little bit of gold to slip between you guys, and have since made their way down over to the backpacks in the other map.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And Jin fell off the cliff.
Yes.
Oh, are you hurt?
Yes, but more my pride than anything.
I'm Batman.
Okay. Well, oh, you're who?
Batman.
All right. Continuing your education here in the field, gentlemen. Looting, burning bodies, standard protocol. Gold, always a good thing to have. Items, swords. I have zero issue with the collection. May I highly recommend you not bond or even try to use them until you can have some of the mages back at Fort review them. Cursed items are real and prevalent, and they cause a massive headache.
Like, as in cursed, do you mean like possessed by like a djinn or some sort of
Yeah,
deity?
we've had possession, we've had mental manipulation, we've had lots of mind games in the camp due to nice little magical items. I mean, we can work with it, and I kind of put, if you haven't taken a look at my sword, it's a glowing Hellraiser. All right. So, some magic's perfectly fine to have. Collection of tools is what we need to do. But I'm telling you, whatever you find out here, pack it back to Fort and there's several people who can check it out for you. But have it checked out before you really start to get attached to it. Clea?
Alright.
Right.
Bolden just tucks it like in his belt, I guess. Like
That's fine.
belt.
That's fine. Put it on your pack, on there. And just don't start using it, especially don't bond with it out here. All right? Have the mages at Fort clear it before you swing it.
Understandable.
When you say possessed by like a djinn, I turn to Jin and you're like, you mean like you possess things?
Okay. It wasn't a djinn, it was just a Draida. But I had to break the lass's finger to get the ring that was possessing her off. And that is not an exaggeration. That is literally a story that happened in this last week. Welcome to the front, gentlemen.
Oh.
May I recommend using butter next time? Makes things slippery. Little pig fat works a long way.
Actually, I have a cantrip for that.
Oh,
Move out, gentlemen. Let's move out.
I mean, you guys would find the 3 backpacks. Hard to miss, right? As you'd sell them before. No investigation roll needed to find these.
Thank you.
One, you'd find entirely empty, made of this dark tanned leather. Somewhat well made, as you'd see these 2 letters, RL, are engraved on the front. The other bag, you'd find full of food, 15 days rations. This bag, not so well made, more kind of torn. The last one, a bit peculiar, as it is this black leather with the silver embroidery around the rim. And as you flip it open, you look inside, it appears to be empty.
you said the
Cheers.
first bag had an L on it?
RL, it has this embroidery, this engraving in the leather, like a stamp almost.
Can I like search the black bag with silver embroidery? Can I see if there are any like hidden pockets or maybe any like arcane enchantments possibly?
Yeah, make an investigation check as you look over this bad boy.
Okay. Alright, oh, that's a dirty 20.
Nice! As you go through this thing, you don't seem to find anything at first. It seems to be well made and somewhat light. But as you go and turn it inside out, you'd watch as a slew of items would fall to your feet. Including, let's see, 856 silver, 102 gold, 1,000 ball bearings, 1 grappling hook, 1 climber's kit, 1 healer's kit, and a single journal, leather-bound journal, tied with a red bow.
Guys, I just hit the jackpot over here.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Can I pick up the journal?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanna just see if there are any like names on it, any like initials or something.
If you pick it up, it seems to be fairly well made. On the cover, seems to be not necessarily a name or anything like that, but it's this faint kind of stamp or inked piece that resembles an acorn. And just beneath that seems to be a piece of wheat. Undo the ribbon and open it up if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yep. Open it up on the inside cover. You see, to my son, may you find peace amidst the darkness. May the fields grow and the flowers bloom. Love, Mom. And as you turn to it, you'd find only the first few pages written out. And they tell the story, first-hand perspective, of a man who's made his way from a southern town known as Krithis up to Ogden. And the last entry kind of denotes him talking to Davos and Mori and heading north to the capital.
Okay. I relay this to the party. I just say, Eric, I think this was someone's a traveler's who was heading to Ogden. Apparently met with Mary and Davos. Do you think this
Aye.
is something we should pursue?
Aye, the personal items, that'd be something that would be best to...
Best to what?
Sorry, technical issues. Aye, the personal items, let's keep that slightly separate, and let's put that in...
Yeah, I think his microphone died.
Oh, I imagine he was saying. Sure.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Alright, technical difficulty, apologies. What I was going to say is, the personal items, like the journal, the normal backpack, let's go ahead and store that together. Everything else, let's put that into what appears to be a bag of holding. I already have a grappling hook. Jin, Boulder, either of you bit of the climbers? Find yourself on that type of situation?
I'm heavy armor, I think.
Okay. Alright then, Jin, why don't you go, Balden, why don't you go ahead and maintain the grappling hook? There's a reason big strong guys like us have that. And then, climbing kit, I know the camp needs to start acquiring some of those for a couple of missions, so the equipment and gear and rations, put that into the bag of holding, or at least that's what it looks like to me, so that's what I'm going to call it until someone smarter than me corrects me. I'll go ahead and carry that back to camp, and then this is enough. We'll divvy that up tonight. It's a personal item, the journals and stuff. We'll report that back to the village. Any complaints?
No,
You're the leader.
that is a sound plan.
Well, there's being a leader, and I'm trying not to not be a dictator. So, all right. We've done well for now. Let's go ahead and get ourselves out to the report back to the village then. Although, we've just proven that there's unfriendlies in the neighborhood. So keep your eyes open, please.
Right. Are we waiting to divvy up this silver and gold, or does that all go back to the fort?
The survivors get a share back at camp, and he'll just smile.
Oldham asks Eric, where's the feathered friend?
Well, my feathered friend is a bit on the magical side, so those bastards with the bows took him out for the night. But don't worry, I need to spend a little time by the fire tonight, and he'll be back tomorrow.
Good. That's good. All right. Well, back we go, I suppose.
Shall we?
Move out, patrol.
All right.
Okay. As you follow. Jin follows Eric as well.
And I'd be leading them back out to the way we came.
Yeah, easy enough to find your way back to Ogden. It's not that far. You'd only just made this journey a few hours ago. You would find by now, though, the sun has since crested over that afternoon point as it's pushing likely 2-3 p.m. But as you guys find your way back to Ogden, excuse me, there'd be quite the sight in front of you. As you would see that old man from before, Jesse L., standing on the fountain, nigh 150-200 people gathered round. Bit by bit, as you guys would make your way up. You'd see as he clears his throat and raises his hands, getting ready to seemingly speak or say something. Anyone want to do anything as you guys approach?
I want to find Mary.
Make a perception check.
like to just get as close to him as possible, and just kind of like, if there's a crowd, push my way through, just so I can be close to him.
Oldham wants to do the same and wave hello to the old man.
Perception was just 6.
Don't seem to see her amidst a crowd of people. But yeah, far more tokens in the map from there. I could drop them all, but hundreds. He'd raise his hands.
Brothers, sisters, lend me your ear. Day by day, this darkness grows closer. Day by day, the night singer grows near. And what do we do? Hide in our homes, cower in fear and clutch our children. Pray to the gods that do not answer. And so I ask you this. What will you do in the face of death? Will you sit here, tired and afraid? Will you perhaps pick up a sword, fling a spell?
I'll see you look down at Baldwin, Vincent, Jin, Eric.
Or perhaps you'd rather join me as I guide us north to Sanctuary. As the darkness comes, I will shed the tide. We will adorn the shade. We will persevere by accepting it. And amidst it, its cool grasp, I assure you, you will find peace. You will find serenity.
And as you look around, you'd watch the people captivated, eyes wide, and there'd be quite a bit of chatter and stir between them. You guys want to do anything at this point?
I just kind of like, I'm like being very cautious, trying to like, I can tell there's definitely like an undertone of him that's kind of being deceptive. But I'm not like quite sure like why he wants to go north. But I'm just gonna like call out towards him. I'm gonna go, is it death that you're preaching to these people? Think we just wanna go quietly, pass away in our sleep, not do anything?
All. Death is all that awaits you if you resist the shade, if you stay here and fight like a fool. I can lead these people to Sanctuary. I can lead these people to safety amongst the shadows. Now, I say you, refugees of Ogden, join me on this journey into the shade, into the shadow. And together, we will forget, and we will find happiness amidst the grasp of the Lady loss.
And I need everyone to roll a wisdom save.
I don't have any bugs.
Uh-oh. Oh my god. That one. Jin got a 2. Oh, terrible roll.
I got a 16.
14.
Alright. The DC 19 save. If you did fail, I think everyone failed. If you did
Wait.
fail...
Eric, do you still have inspiration?
Yes.
No, it must not last.
Okay.
It's well all over.
Okay.
If you failed the save, nothing terrible happens. You'd stand wide-eyed, glossed over, and almost in a daze, daydreaming, reflecting on the day. Almost as if when you're driving, you kind of lose time for a bit of moment. Things just flash forward, and you know where you are, and you remember doing it, but the details are a bit unclear. And in that moment, as you would look, you'd find both Jessiel, as you've come to know him, as well as at least 75, 80 people, 200-300 feet away. A true pilgrimage on its way north out of town.
I just looked towards Eric.
I asked Eric, is there a code for when old men become prophecy?
Another day in paradise. All right. With reduced population, I would like to see if Mary or Davos are available or around.
Make perception check.
Sorry, Eric, we're not gonna pursue the 200 people that he just hypnotized and ran off to the north with to lead them into the shadows. No?
You are recruits. And that is a mage. And even I have problems with mage. I respect your hearts, but I'm not having you die today.
But
I'm not having you die today. End of discussion.
Kind of tap Vince's shoulder and like, I'm not the brightest of the group, but I say if the man was able to take 200 people with him, he could probably take 4 of us out.
I will stand up to just about any bastard in the floor. But mages are my weak spot, I'll admit to that. And that one has 200 hostages. Do you want their blood on your hands? Do you think you can take him?
no.
War is hell. I do extend my condolences. I will not serve you to your death today. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, what I would like us to do is I would very much like to confirm, if possible, if Mary and Davros are still in town. Perception you asked for, sir?
Yeah. As you're looking around though, no, doesn't even need it. As you'd see Mary run up to you guys, full sprint, almost slamming into Jin. Oh. Have you seen Davos?
We were just going to look for him.
Shit.
Oh no. Was he in the crowd?
Everyone was in the crowd.
Okay.
What's up, Jin?
Oh, no, he was gonna help look for him, but after this realization, he turns to Eric and goes, "Gotta go after him."
As you say that, she's gonna grab your shoulder, Jin. Idiot, you can't go after them. Do you know what that was?
No,
Think any of us know what that was?
They're new to the fight. Please, go ahead.
I've only ever seen one once. When I was still in the south. That is a night cloak of Shar. I should have said something before. I was afraid.
Oh fuck. You kidding me? We're dealing with fanatics now. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with crazy fanatics, old men with limbs who wander through the forest and look for easy pickings. That's our game.
That's the war, son.
To be fair, I could tell something was off once he was able to see Eric's owl so easily.
I'm not much of a fighter, but I can't stand idly by and let people like that walk out. It's just not right.
I'm not saying it's good, and I'm not saying I like it, but I am saying that in this moment, here and now, you are under my command, and I am not leading you to your death. You can file a complaint with command if you like, but your ass is coming back to the fort.
You lot are too green to take him. At least now, I should have struck him down as he spoke when I first saw him. I'm so sorry.
None of us. I think we all had our suspicions. I personally am sorry too that I didn't have what it took to stop him. But my crossbow is yours. Do whatever I can to at least.
Please,
put an end.
I know that you're many. I know that you're new. And she'll grab you, Jin, kind of pull you in and get close. And you'd see that she's red-eyed, holding back tears. I know there are many there. You have a lot of friends. Get them. I can't stay here and help these people without that old man. I don't know what to do.
Jin kind of looks to Eric, kind of a little, not sure what to do. He kind of puts his hands on Mary's shoulders just to kind of console her a little bit.
This is actually Eric's first time officially meeting Mary. Point of clarification, she's a grown woman, right?
Yeah, she's in her early 20s.
Okay. Vegapath was planning on sending a Vegapath was planning on sending a team here to help anyway. They wanted to know more about how they can help. They had planned on notes. I say, you come, talk to the people here, give a full report. We can definitely provide space, room, that's no problem. Come, we'll have you talk to the right people. You will be able to assist us in helping Ogden. Fat enough?
Leave now. Not leave now. If he's truly gone, I don't know. I have to search for him. I'm sorry, I have to search for him.
Is there any way
Kind of look down, stomp her feet, and start to walk away. Go ahead.
Is there any way I can ask you to wait just a little bit so I can have actual people come and help? People with experience and strength greater than mine. The plans were already in work to have
I'm
people
not
come.
chasing after them. Maybe he's here somewhere. We just don't find him yet.
All right. Just
And,
stay
with tears
in
in her
town.
eyes, she would storm off.
Damn it,
Just
though.
Making her way to Davos.
We go up there.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that who she's looking for is not going to be here. And yeah, this is one of those tough call days. Best thing we can do is report back to command and have them put the best team possible. Because with respect, I'm not sending first mission recruits on this mission. This is something that's probably going to go all the way up to command to get sussed out. Let's get our asses back there.
Right. We should make haste before we run into any more old men wearing dark cloaks and preaching Mistra's teachings.
Aye.
Well,
And he'll start.
going to ask.
Yeah. Eric will start back to camp.
Roll survival with for advantage with me, Eric. It's relatively easy to get back if you walked it once. Somewhat of a straight shot.
19.
Yeah. Easy peasy. As you guys push out of the village, you would see that a few people do remain somewhat solemn, heads down. Reconstruction is resumed almost immediately as the carpenters have gone back to work, fixing up the few homes that still have walls, patching the roofs. But with a 19, it would take you about 2.5, 3 hours to make your way back to camp. As you get there, just as the sun was hitting the horizon, I was turning to that purple and red color. But as you come back, you find the gate open. Private fuck up, Jacob Zorky, give you a wave as you come in. Oi, welcome back! You lot kind of look bit shook.
Yeah.
We've had a rough go of it.
But we all made it. Thanks to Captain Eric.
Eric is happy they're alive. Eric is not exactly cheery, but... Alright, point of reference. We didn't encounter anything poisonous, necrotic, or altogether slimy and such. If you have that on a mission, before you cross these gates, check yourself and burn it off with a torch fire. We're trying to make sure we don't let, in the vicinities, there's been necrotic tar. We're trying to keep it out of the camp for obvious reasons. We didn't encounter anything today, so we should be fine. Jin, if memory serves, you took the worst hit of all of us. I think you just took a normal hit. There wasn't anything magical in that, to my understandings.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just a fall and some tusks.
Okay. More than likely you'll sleep that off. General protocols fall back to the fire, and usually one of the officers will meet us. Let us on in.
Gate's already open. As you guys would make your way in, Jin, as soon as you hit that like precipice of the fort into the actual ground itself, but a pop of smoke, the blue gym would appear right next to you.
Oh,
Would
gosh.
you, yeah, use a thing?
No, not yet.
Oi, Jim! As in a bit of an instant, red Jim would appear. Well, you, yeah, Jim, what happened? He didn't use a thing, Jim. Oh, Jim, he didn't use a thing. Why didn't you use a thing?
They got us. I should have thrown it at him. This Jasil fella put us all into some kind of trance.
Up, up, up,
Mind
up,
if I
up.
hold
Oi,
it?
Jim, he thinks we care what he... Give us the thing back, yeah? And he'd hold out his hand, back in with his fingers, cutting you off. A bit rude look in his eyes, definitely intentional. I think a bit of a sneer. Get in here, come on.
Jen, I told you to use the thing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I reach. I give it back.
He grab it. Oi, Jim! Then you watch the purple one appear, cutting you off. Oh yeah. Jim, he didn't use the thing. We should still pay. I don't know. Hit him with the thing, Jim. All right, Jim. Yeah. Oh, that thing or no, Jim. The thing. Oh yeah, gotcha. And purple Jim would shuffle around for just about a moment in his pocket, and he'd reach out. Would look to be a gold piece, almost identical, except the color entirely off, as it would be that matte black color. Oh, you here? Yeah, payment.
Thanks.
Hold it out.
Okay. I take the coin, look it over.
Yeah. Roll an investigation check. Oh yeah, keep that for good luck, yeah? And you'd watch as they one by one disappear.
Okay. My favorite roll. Oh, not bad. 16.
As you look it over, turn it back and forth, and kind of rub your finger over it once or twice, it gives this weird hum. As you feel it almost with it in your hand, or at least in your pocket or possession. A fortune should favor you, at least just a bit. You likely have to look it over a bit more. Spend some time with it.
Okay. I just kind of say thank you to the like the empty space. And, yeah, I'm just gonna follow Vincent back to the fire. Like, sorry, Vincent, did you mention, was that you who called out to me and recommended that I throw that ball at Jasil?
Actually, I never said anything about it. I was just pulling a game, but
Oh, okay.
sorry.
Okay. Let's take a break. We all earned it. And we're gonna sit by the fire.
As you'd find your way back in, Captain Tell would have seen Eric come back and meet her. Great nod. She'd welcome back. How did it go? New recruits do okay today. They'll look a bit worse for wear.
Oh. I'll have the full report on the handed in to you shortly. The recruits themselves did fairly fine. We might need to work on a little bit of a backbone on Vincent, but he'll suss out soon enough. Most important news would be Priest of Shard encountered Ogden.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, Priest of Shard in Ogden.
And he's dead, yes?
Unfortunately, mages are not my specialty. And about 200 refugees came with them following north.
What? I'm sorry. And she'd put her head down for a bit of a moment, and she'd grab her forehead. One more time. A priest of Shar showed up in Ogden with an effective army of 200 refugees. And he is where now?
Heading north.
What?
Also, I just wanted to make sure, but in my recollection, was he walking with about 200 people? Or I thought it was like 75 people disappeared from...
You would have saw the backs of what looked to be just shy of 100.
Okay.
Did I mishear it then? I'm sorry.
I was just wondering, I thought it was 200 feet away from us about...
Oh, that's what I heard, the 100. That's where I heard the 200. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I got the 200 mixed up in what it was. My apologies.
Thank
Okay.
you for the clarification. And she kind of still. Even 80
Yes,
enemies
no,
is
agree.
quite a stark. And where did they come from? I'm confused. You arrived at Ogden, and there is an enemy priest there with 80 allies.
Was
and
not
you did nothing?
was not aware that he was an enemy until he had already cast some sort of charm, and at the time we came out from under the charm, the 80 people had already been walking away. I was with 3 recruits. If I felt we had engaged, I'm very certain these recruits would not have been back. I'm not certain if I would have made it back, as the last time I enchanted charm magic, I barely made it back, and I was very certain that the individuals that they were with would likely not be surviving either. I thought best course of action.
If I raise my voice at you, Eric, I am just concerned.
And I apologize as well.
You.
I don't.
Like that.
No. And I don't like walking away either. So that's where my tone is coming from, and I apologize, Captain.
I suppose my question goes to the rest of you. Is if what he says is true, this gentleman, you know for a fact that he arrived there with 80 allies. This is truly terrible. Where could he find these people to this?
No. He recruited. He beguiled them. The refugees were already there, and he charmed them from the city and recruited, charmed, however you want to phrase it. Magic is not my specialty. And from Ogden, drafted the refugees and walked them, started heading northward.
Right then. With that in mind, I suggest you rest up. You especially, Eric. I have to go talk to the Major. We need to act quickly. And she'd get up and pretty much run up to the command building.
He said something about sanctuary in the shades. Oh, she got it.
North was the main component.
Oh, yep, north, by the way, north.
It might be northeast, northwest, but it was north. We know that.
The northern direction from Ogden,
Yes.
you know, so, yeah.
The thing.
Like the spot you go when it gets cold.
She'd run back in. You see the door close very briefly as you'd hear the bang from where you guys are. But with that, as you guys are left around the fire, that ends the session for today.
All right.
All right.
Hey, we didn't
We
die.
made it.
I didn't die.
Sword.
Thank you for playing, new people. I hope you guys had a good time. You all were great. The one thing I can say is it's weird to play online, right? One of the tricks you could do when there's like that weird time when you wait to roll, right? Because the N2Beyond sucks, right? It's terribly slow sometimes. If you know what you're gonna do when you like do your flavoring of your actions and your descriptions, it's a good time to do the rolls during then.
Yeah.
Right, and then worst comes to worst, and you roll and I have you discard it, right? I'm not gonna get mad at you for dropping that roll early, trying to save time in that situation. totally cool. They do it in the stream. It's how it runs so smoothly.
Got it.
It can be tricky though, but so yeah, no worries.
If we're
Dan, also your thing, sometimes the music when it plays comes through your monitor. I could hear it. So I don't know if
Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
It's not terrible, but just a heads up, because I would want to know if it was me.
okay.
Got it.
Can I clarify a couple of details for pseudo out of character then? My understanding is we acquired about 1,113 gold then?
Wait, it was 852
I think some of that was silver.
Okay, 52 silver, 87 gold I know, and then 102 gold. Okay. That's where my math... Okay. Not one... That had... Yeah, okay. So... That's... Okay.
Where would I go to get my sword checked out for magic stuff?
Let's see. You need Identify or Dispel Magic. A Eula?
You would know that you could spend an hour with an item and identify it. As the rules is written, we do run that. You're welcome to. They both require touch. One just takes a little longer.
So if I just hold it for an hour, I can identify it?
So the idea behind it is you would take that hour and you'd experiment with it, right? You'd fuck around with it. You tap on it and you look it over and you swing it a little bit, and that is how an item is identified. That's the idea behind it. Where potions you could do almost instantly, so you're supposed to take a little sip canonically. That's how it's flavored usually.
Okay.
So will that hour be during the rest period? Or?
So technically you cannot go to identify an item and get the short rest at the same time, but you guys now say you'd arrive back 8 p.m., you'd have a couple hours, right? You'd have more than enough time before you went to sleep to still get your full rest for the night. If you would sit with it, I could do it right here for you. If you would sit with it, you would find that, for the most part, it is an entirely regular weapon. Except when swung at night, you find as the sun would set and become quite clear, the blade would get a faint glow to it and emanate 5 feet of dim light. You're gonna say add the sword and just click it and put custom notes. And there is no way to turn the light off. It just glows in the dark.
Okay, so... just a spot check then, that would suggest looks like about 45 gold and about 214 silver each then?
Sounds. Wait.
47 gold and about 214.
I wasn't sure on the amount of gold. I just remember 852 silver.
I've got notes of 87 gold and
That sounds about right.
102 gold, 856 silver. Okay. What was... Okay. I'm assuming that was a bag of holding then? Okay.
I believe that is in... Who actually picked it up? Was it Vincent?
Yeah. But I would have offered it to Eric. I didn't claim dibs on anything.
Okay. Yeah, so technically I'm holding it right now. I wouldn't mind it, but if anyone really feels like they need a bag of holding to complete their collections, I'm not going to be a jerk here.
I don't really feel comfortable taking anything, especially when you were kind of keeping us alive. So.
Yeah, believe me, I'm not exactly happy about the mission outcome myself. You guys alive is pretty much the highlight of my mission today. And then there's like 15 rations, you said.
Kit, healer's kit, ball bearings.
Okay, healer's kit.
What was the first kit?
Climbing kit.
Climber's kit, healer's kit. With you.
Climber's
Some ball
kit.
bearings.
There
And a
were
grab.
two. Yeah, and then there were 2 daggers lined with silver.
Yeah, two silver daggers.
I wouldn't mind the ball bearings actually.
Take them.
I wouldn't mind.
Who does not have a magic weapon? I've got a magic sword, and it sounds like you just got yourself. Does that count as a magical sword if it glows?
That count on a magical sword if it glows. It's absolutely
Okay, all right,
glows.
all right.
It doesn't count a +1 or anything, but yes, if you do swing with that, consider it a magic weapon. It's magic slashing damage.
Excellent. That way, helps with mages. I would recommend those of you who do not have a magical weapon, each of you take that one of those silver daggers. That way, if you come across it, you've got that.
I do have a magical crossbow. I wouldn't mind taking one of those silver daggers.
I would want all soldiers to have the ability to do both a ranged and a melee attack, because that situation can change so quickly. I'm primarily a melee. I still carry a javelin.
I mean, I can perform magic, but I don't really like hands and fists, you know, not really my thing.
Take a dagger.
Oh boy. Alright. Yeah, I just put the pointy end in the other guy, right?
Alright, since we're in this situation here, you follow me. And he's going to lead you up to the north side of the map.
Okay.
Welcome to the training center. You and those training dummies are going to become good friends.
Oh boy.
The healer's kit, I know someone who needs one. And then I know that the fort needs to get some climber's kit for a possible mission in the future as well. So I'm going to requisition those to a couple of things for the camp. And he would happily divvy up your gold and tell you to get some rest and have mercy on our souls.
Everyone gets credit for a successful mission. It's
Holy
only 2 to get from 3 to 4. So you're halfway there to 4 if you're new.
Oh, sweet.
It's very quick in the beginning, and it seems to slow down drastically from 5 to 6. And the idea by then is there are those meritocracy levels where you're supposed to, I think it's like 8 sessions from, right? It's almost like 2 months of playtime if you were to play every week. But truly, that's only if you show up and play every week. There are these meritocracy levels where if you interact with the world and do something, like take charge of one of the buildings, do what Eric is doing, right? You get these like promotions along the way. And so the way that it's worked out is like, you know, like halfway into it, like 4 or 5 missions into 6, you'll get that meritocracy promotion, actually become 6. You'll finish that out and then become 7. And it's like separate little sticks. There's like an announcement somewhere that I'll